Dear Detour, you took us off-road on the gnarliest trails. You asked us to measure up. So yeah, we did. When life slings you mud, sling it right back. Stay strong, Toyota Trucks.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Athletes know how important it is to stay hydrated. But did you know there are other ways to hydrate besides just drinking water? In fact, milk is a great hydration option because it actually contains water, as well as electrolytes that are lost when your body sweats. So consider taking milk along with you to your next game or competition and enjoy the taste of greatness. For more help finding your greatness, visit unbottled.com.
It's time to start planning for back to school. That's why I got my kids vaccinated for COVID-19, so they can be protected from COVID when they're back in the classroom. Kids 12 and older can get vaccinated. The vaccines have been researched and tested. They're safe and they work. Getting vaccinated was quick and easy. You can walk into a pharmacy to get one. We got our COVID-19 vaccine, and I hope everyone will choose to get vaccinated too.
Get a free COVID-19 vaccine today. Find a location near you at covidvaccine.idaho.gov.
We're Valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
A hit in the morning, another between class, after school, and more before bed. Vaping sucks you in quick. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems everyone's talking about. That's why thousands of teens are ready to take back their life their own way with My Life, My Quit. When you sign up with us, you'll get a free and simple quit plan that makes it easier to stop vaping. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
You train, you sweat, you practice, you go for the gold, you give 110%, but most of all, you aim for greatness. And milk is the performance enhancer that can help get you to your goal. Trusted by athletes and backed by science, there's a healthy helping of greatness in every refreshing glass of milk. So let nature's original sports drink help quench your thirst for greatness. For more help finding your greatness, visit unbottled.com.
I decided to get vaccinated because I wanted to protect myself and my family and my customers from COVID-19. When I went to get my COVID-19 vaccine, it was an easy process. It's readily available. Since I got vaccinated, I'm confident I'm protected against the COVID-19 virus. My life has returned to business as usual.
Well, good evening and welcome into this IdahoSports.com Game Streams production of the 2021 Idaho State Football Tournament. Tournament coverage on IdahoSports.com is presented by the Idaho Division of Public Health, your local Toyota dealer, Valley-wide co-op and country stores, and Project Filter. Stop smoking, start living. We come to you live tonight from Holt Arena in Pocatello. Game 1 of our double dip this evening. It is a Class 5A opening round postseason game as the Skyview Hawks take on the Highland Rams. Hi, everybody, inside the broadcast booth. Brandon Bainey alongside Sean Kane. Skyview comes in with a 5-4 record. They were essentially the 5th place team from District 3. Highland, a very strong 7-2 runner-up in District 5-6.
Yeah, Skyline went 4-0 at the start of the season, then lost 4 games, and then finished with a strong win over Bora, who is also, a pretty strong team and in the playoffs and in the same half of the bracket as them. So that's, Skyview kind of had to go the hard way to get there. And then, you have Highland, who has only lost to 2 top-ranked teams all year, Rigby at the top and Rocky Mountain that's at the top. So both teams come in on good footing, we should say.
Absolutely. So, yeah, Skyview started 4-0, as you mentioned, went on a 4-game losing streak, and then won the game that counted, basically the SIC play-in game that got them this playoff spot. Last time we saw Highland was 2 weeks ago against Rigby in a tight loss, and I guess we're doing the national anthem early. So
we have a lot of pride here.
That's right. We'll talk about Highland on the other side of the break as they get ready to entertain the Skyview Hawks in an opening round battle in the 5A postseason. You're listening to the 2021 Idaho High School Football Playoffs on IdahoSports.com. We'll be back in just a moment.
Lead the charge into a brighter future with the all-new 2022 Volkswagen ID4. With an EPA estimated range of 250 miles, the ID4 knows how to go the distance. It's an electric SUV that's as fun to drive as it is stylish and functional. You don't have to sacrifice good looks for great performance. So stop by our dealership today and jumpstart your year with the Volkswagen ID4. Teton Volkswagen, where it's always no problem to buy and service your vehicle.
Why spend 15 minutes quoting your insurance with one company? Go to biginsurance.com and let leading insurance companies shop for your insurance. You can even chat with one of our agents standing by only at biginsurance.com.
It's not a secret that finding a new car this year is a little tricky. Between chip shortages and supply problems, there's more reasons than ever to come to our no-problem dealerships when you need a new car or truck. Our acquisitions team works hard to make sure that we have a great selection of vehicles to choose from, and our easy-to-buy, easy-to-do business with sales team is ready to deliver the same great value price that we've had for nearly 20 years. Teton Toyota, where it's always no problem to buy and service your car.
I decided to get vaccinated because I wanted to protect myself and my family and my customers from COVID-19. When I went to get my COVID-19 vaccine, it was an easy process, is readily available. Since I got vaccinated, I'm confident I'm protected against the COVID-19 virus. My life has returned to business as usual.
Dear Detour, you took us off-road on the gnarliest trails. You asked us to measure up. So yeah, we did. When life slings you mud, sling it right back. Stay strong, Toyota trucks.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back inside Holt Arena in Pocatello. Brandon Bainey alongside Sean Kane as we get ready for this 5A postseason opener between the Skyview Hawks and the Highland Rams. The captains getting ready to meet at midfield for the coin toss. So let's talk about Highland. We were interrupted by the national anthem, Sean. Highland, we saw them 2 weeks ago at Rigby, and that was a game where Highland got punched on the nose a little bit. They lost that game 44-21 and then basically backed into a corner, needing to win to secure a playoff spot in the regular season finale against Idaho Falls. They win 38-21 and really showed off some offensive versatility. They went for a home run ball on the first play of the game. Jack Whitmer threw a big pass. And so this is a Highland team that I think is finding its stride.
Yeah, they're kind of finding a way to come up with some big plays. And if you think back to that Rigby game, Highland just didn't have enough big plays to match, I would say, Rigby's big plays of that game. So, yeah, versus Idaho Falls, Highland's kind of ready to hit that stride, give Whitmer a little, kind of take him off the leash and let him go, a little bit there with that big throw. And, yeah, they've been looking good. They've only allowed 2 teams to score 21 points, and that was Rigby and Idaho Falls. Besides that, they've not let anyone go over 20 points. So the defense for Highland has been there. The question mark has kind of been, is the offense going to be able to match that as they get into these tougher opponents?
So Skyview won the toss. They will defer to the second half, which means we'll get to see that Highland offense up first. A team that, they've got a good running back in Eli Parrish. It's kind of touch and go. At least it was in that Rigby game.
Yeah, Parrish didn't get a whole lot of carries in the Rigby game. They kind of relied more on Whitmer, and they kind of run like, that designed quarterback run. It was pretty successful against a very tough Rigby defense. And so, kind of as of the stats now, Whitmer has a few more carries than Parrish and just a few more yards, only about 25 more yards. But, yeah, they've got Whitmer and Parrish, and so they've kind of got a dual-headed beast in the backfield for Highland.
Yeah, we talked about Jack Whitmer. He's kind of a dual-threat quarterback, right? He can beat you with the pass, but he can also take off and run. He's pretty dangerous.
Yeah, he's quick. His speed is kind of sneaky. You don't see it coming, and then he's just gone. And I think what helps that is he's got some great receivers. He's got a good slot guy, Barella, a senior. They've got Godfrey, a junior. They also got Schumann, who's been great this year. But Barella's had 44 catches, 584 yards, and 4 TDs, so he's kind of led the way for the receiving core. So they've got 3 kind of pretty strong receivers, and also Parrish catches a lot out of the backfield.
And, of course, Skyline, when they have the ball, or Skyview. I was at the Skyline game last night. That's why I'm saying Skyline. So when Skyview has
blue.
Yeah, right, they both wear blue and white. When Skyview has the ball, they've got a great running back, Antonio Fafita. He is a bear in the backfield. So here is Skyline to kick off to start this game in the all-white jerseys with the white helmets, the black letters with the blue trim around them, and they'll start with a squib kick. It will be taken on a hop at the 22-yard line, now returning out to the right side, Raymond Barella, and a nice return out to the 35 and the 36-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10 for Highland. Highland wearing those black jerseys, white pants. They've got gray up on the shoulder pads, white letters and numbers, red trim around them. Highland working left to right on your radio dial here in this opening quarter of action.
And then Highland's also got a shiny silver Ram logo on that helmet.
Yeah, the helmets do look sharp, no doubt about it. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Highland from their own 37, working left to right here in our opening quarter of action. Jack Whitmer out of a pistol formation. Play action fake to start. Plenty of time. Will throw to a wide open receiver, but he overshoots him on the near side around the 45-yard line. Colton Sneddon, the tight end, the intended receiver.
Yeah, Sneddon was wide open. Just a little overthrown. I like the play, created space. And, what we saw against Rigby, if Whitmer has time, he can be pretty dangerous. He did not have a whole lot of time versus Rigby.
Yeah, he had all day to throw there and just sailed it a touch high. So back to work here on 2nd down and 10 now for the Rams. And again, Whitmer out of a pistol formation. Parrish the back with him. They will give it on a draw play to Eli Parrish, and he gets a yard, and that's it. In on the stop for Skyview that time. Coming up to make the tackle, a host of Hawks, but it looked like the nose tackle, Daniel Hernandez, in there first.
Yeah, and, looking at Skyview, you almost made me do it there. I almost said Skyline. Skyview, right? Dan Young, he's got 19. I forgot to mention that in the pregame, is we got a ton of coaching experience here. We've got Gino Mariani with 21 years, and David Young has 19 years, so 20 or 40 years of coaching experience tonight.
3rd and 9. Whitmer rolling out to the left side on the run. Fires. That ball caught at the 47, across the 45 to the 44-yard line of Skyview. And that will be enough to move the chains for a first down. That is a connection of 20 yards. And on the reception that time was Jackson Schumann, the slot receiver.
And we've seen it. Schumann has a lot of speed too. He can get out. They like to get him into space and open it up and let him run.
So a fresh set of downs here for Highland. 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line of Skyline. Whitmer will take the snap, handoff out of the gun. This is Jackson Riddle now, a sophomore who is a recent call-up to the varsity squad. Riddle takes it off right tackle for a gain of 5.
And Riddle a little slow to get up, but looks like he's going to stay out there.
So Highland, he wears the number 1 on the varsity jersey. Kevin Dahlstrom wore that number earlier this season for Highland, and he was a great wide receiver, but he suffered a season-ending injury. So they call up Riddle. They say, here you go, kid, you're number 1.
You're number 1 in our hearts and minds too, right?
Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, they've had 2 different number 1s this year, which could throw people off who don't follow the team super closely. 2nd and 5, inside run again. This is Riddle. And Riddle taking it off the right side for a gain of 2. It'll be 3rd down and 3 now for the Rams.
So kind of a good bounce here by Highland. They went pretty much all past that first down, and now they've got a few runs here and a pretty manageable 3rd down.
3rd down and 3. Ball is at the Skyview 37. They've got to get to the 34 to pick up the first down. Whitmer lines up in a pistol formation here. It's going to be a read option play off the left side. Pitch out to Eli Parrish. Parrish trying to get there, and I think he was about a half a yard shy. Sean, we'll see where they spot this on that far side.
Yeah, he looked just a little short. That was a great effort by a couple Skyview players to get in there and seal the edge.
Yeah, they only give him a yard on that, so well short. It's going to be 4th down and 2 now for Highland. Ball is at the 36-yard line of Skyview. 9:10 to play in our opening quarter and no score yet.
I say bring out the kicker, but that's just me. Because Highland's got a great kicker in Hershey, and we're inside, but I'm sure they're going to go for it here with their Highland's great offensive line.
Yes, I'm sure. So 4th and 2. Whitmer out of the pistol. It's going to be a fake toss and a quarterback draw, and Whitmer, I don't think he got there. We'll see where they spot that. Antonio Fafita came up to make the tackle, and he's short. He needed 2, and he only got 1.
Yeah, it looks like maybe something on that play went wrong. It looked like a little confusion on the offensive line and just couldn't get the hole he needed to get that yard.
I think it was a designed fake toss and a quarterback draw, but like you said, the blocking up front.
He thought one guard was going another way, I believe, and just didn't quite happen. And I think that was just the big part was Skyview getting in there and causing some havoc.
Yeah, making some problems for Highland. So now it's Skyview's ball. 1st and 10 for the Hawks, working right to left here in this opening quarter, starting at their own 35-yard line. They will start with a handoff out of the shotgun and right back to the line of scrimmage. Not much more than that. Antonio Fafita carrying it for the first time tonight. He'll be a busy guy. He takes it for a gain of 1. And Highland's strength on defense, Sean, is that defensive line. So running into the teeth of the defense might be hard tonight for Skyview.
Yeah, and it could just be wearing. Skyview doesn't have a ton of players like a lot of 5A programs, and most of their top guys go both ways.
Max cut forth back to pass on 2nd and 9 over the middle. Pass is caught at the 35, and up to the 40-yard line is Fafita with his first reception of the night, and it'll be 3rd down and 4 now for the Hawks.
Yeah, head coach Gino Mariani kind of said that Skyview does not, have as much depth, and a lot of Highland, they've been great so years. They've got guys in all the positions and don't have to go both ways, and he saw that as a big advantage as the game went on.
Well, yeah, I mean, Antonio Fafita made the stop on 4th down at linebacker, then he's got to go right back out there and run the ball a couple times.
Yeah, I'm tired watching.
3rd and 4 for Skyview. Out of a pistol formation, cut forth, back to pass. Has time, surveys going over the middle, too high and complete. They were trying to go to Camden Young over the middle, but he shot it high, and it's 4th down. It looks like Skyview will come out to punt. Tino Galvin will come on and punt for the Hawks.
And that's one thing I was pretty impressed with. Highland has good secondary. They kind of kept, when we watched Rigby, when they play Rigby, they kind of kept Rigby at bay passing. They just kind of give up some big runs, but that secondary will do very good coverage.
So 4th down, Skyview to punt it away. Raymond Barella back deep to return for Highland, stands at his own 23-yard line. Line drive kick, Barella will take it at the 30. We'll break it to the left side, the 40's got some blocks to the 50, to the 45, and out of bounds around the Skyview 44-yard line. That is a nice return of 25 yards for Barella on the punt.
Yeah, if he would have had about, 5 more yards wide, I think he would have turned that and taken it all the way. Very fast, Barella. Great receiver, but those legs really help him out blowing by guys.
So now Highland back out there for the 2nd time tonight. 1st and 10 for the Rams. I guess Barella stepped out of bounds back at the 49-yard line. That's where it'll be 1st and 10 for Highland. Whitmer out of a pistol formation. Parrish the tailback. He's got 2 receivers to the right side, tight end to the left. Whitmer again, all day to throw, and now hit as he throws, going for the deep ball. It's intercepted at the 15-yard line. Nicholas Ortiz picks it off. He's on the return to the 30 and brought down at the 31-yard line. So Whitmer went for the home run ball into double coverage. He was absolutely clobbered by Dallas Curran as he released that ball. And Nicholas Ortiz comes up with the interception for Skyview.
It was almost one of those. Whitmer had too much time. Like he was pressured for so long that when it came, he let go and it was too late. And there's 2 Skyview players there, and it was just right into his hands. So great job by Skyview. Go 3 and out and come back right with a turnover.
And that's where Whitmer, we talked about, has that ability to take off and run, but wanted to try and go for the home run ball that time. So 1st and 10 for Skyview from their own 31-yard line. 7:40 to play in our first quarter, no score yet. Cut forth, rolling out right side over the middle. That pass is complete to Camden Young at the 40, and he is driven backwards from there by Mason Fulmer, who's a great junior outside linebacker for Highland. But Camden Young makes the reception for a gain of 10 and a 1st down.
Yeah, Camden Young's going to we'll hear his name a lot tonight. He's one of their better receivers and plays defensive back, so he'll have his hands full both sides of the ball tonight for sure.
Another 2A guy. He had 2 interceptions in that win over Bora last Friday, including a 98-yard pick 6 for a touchdown. And he also caught a receiving touchdown on offense. Just another day in the office for Camden Young. 1st and 10, handoff to Fafita, driven back after a gain of 2, straight up the middle. Mason Fulmer sticking his head in there again for Highland.
Yeah, I always say, well, why do those guys have oxygen? But maybe Young. We'll give Camden Young some oxygen.
Well, we'll see. Last night, I was here for the Lakeland Skyline game, and Lakeland had a lot of guys going both ways like Skyview, in that they just got worn out as the game went along. So we'll see if Skyview can keep it up for 4 quarters. 6.5 to play first quarter. 2nd and 6 for the Hawks. Cut forth, back to pass. Down he goes. Sacked inside the 40, back at the 38-yard line. In on the sack for the Rams was Drew Roberts. Drew Roberts started his career at Century High School down the road from Highland and transferred into this Rams program, and cut forth loses 6 yards on that sack. It's now 3rd and 11.
Yeah, nice pressure there by the Rams front line. Really good job. Also, the secondary, that it's one of those kind of everyone's covered. There's nowhere for him to go.
3rd and 11 now for Skyview. Cut forth with 4 wide, 3 to the right. Will take off on the run, in trouble, hit as he throws. Was trying to dump it off to Fafita, but it never got there because applying the pressure for Highland that time was Drew Roberts again. So back-to-back plays for Drew Roberts. It's 4th down, and Skyview has to punt.
And they almost had him in the backfield. Cody Colvin, he was right there and kind of got tripped up on his own feet. So that pressure was coming hard.
Yeah, this is a Highland front four that is definitely the strength of its defense. So Skyview will punt for the second time tonight. They didn't have 11 guys as Henry Downey comes hustling out at the last moment. 5:42 to play in a scoreless first quarter. Skyview to punt it away for the second time tonight. A lot more air under this punt after the 25-yard return by Barella. He'll take it at his own 28. Penalty flag comes out. It'll come back. Barella to the 40, the 50, the 40 still going, and out of bounds at the 35-yard line. A good punt return by Raymond Barella, but Highland's going to be called for an illegal block back at their own 30.
Yeah, it looked like a block on the back for sure. That would be my guess, but that was a pretty good punt by Skyview.
Yeah, well, they changed the strategy, right?
Yeah.
The first punt was kind of a line drive kick. Barella ripped off a big return, so the second time they went with a little more air. Barella still ripped off a pretty big return. So
unfortunately, it's going to come back. And, I mean, it's heating up in here. As I came into the facility, they said they had the heat on because it had been cold a couple days ago, but it's retained the heat in here for sure.
Yeah. Like I said, we could wear shorts and a T-shirt to these broadcasts and be just fine. It's when you have to go out to your car in the parking lot that's the problem. So after that block in the back penalty against Highland on the punt return, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams, starting at their own 20-yard line. 5:27 to play here in the first quarter of action. Whitmer again out of a pistol formation. 3 receivers left. Single receiver to the right. Handoff out of the gun to Eli Parrish. Into the secondary, lowering the shoulder and taking it out to the 34-yard line for a gain of 14 and a first down.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of expected to see from Highland a little more when they played Rigby. Is a little more Parrish. He's 84 carries, 640 yards on the season. He averages 7.6 yards a carry. I mean, that's pretty good.
That's big league stuff there. It'll be 1st and 10, a toss play to Parrish this time, looking to get to the outside, has the edge, but a penalty flag will bring this back on a blocking penalty as Parrish takes it across the 50 to the 49-yard line of Skyview, but again, it's coming back.
Yeah, it might have been holding, but anyways, a couple penalties here kind of holding Highland back. That return was good, and that was a great run to the outside by Parrish and kind of uncharacteristic penalties, right? Oh, it was on.
Wow. Okay. They're going to say as Skyview was pass rushing, they're going to be called for illegal hands to the face.
Okay.
They're saying the Skyview pass rusher jammed up into the face mask of the Highland offensive lineman that was trying to block on the perimeter.
Okay. I didn't quite see that. I thought I saw I didn't see the holding, but where the referee threw the flag seemed very prudent to where holding usually occurs. But
yes,
that makes sense why the flag was there.
And so I guess officially it's a face mask penalty, personal foul variety, 15-yard penalty against Skyview. That puts the ball 1st and 10 for Highland with the ball at the Skyview 36-yard line. 4:45 and counting, opening quarter, no score. 5 wide for the Rams, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. It's a screen pass to Barella in the flat, and it's blown up. Tarek Pennington out on the perimeter, knocks down Barella. And a little talking between the two sides after that play gets done. But Barella loses 2 on that screen pass to the right side.
And, when I came in to the Holt Arena this evening, Skyview players, they're big dudes. They're big guys. It's not what you would think, kind of. I don't know why, but they were some big dudes out there.
Well, Skyview, of course, will be moving down to the Class 4A ranks next season because of low enrollment numbers. 2nd down and 11. They're going to sling it in the flat this time. This is caught by Riddle, and Riddle takes it across the 35 down to the 34-yard line, so minimal yardage gained there. It'll be 3rd and long for Highland. Gain of 3 on that pass play to Riddle.
Yeah, Riddle tried to make a pretty hard cut and just didn't catch anything. Didn't catch any of those little beads down there, I guess, on the nice turf field we're playing on tonight here.
That's right, inside at Holt Arena. It'll be 3rd down and 8 for the Rams. Back to pass is Whitmer, feeling the heat, completes it to the right side, caught by Barella, the 30, the 25, and a penalty flag at the end of the play as well, thrown at the 22-yard line. So now we'll have to see what the call is here. It looked like Barella was a yard shy of the first down marker, but we'll see. As it stands, a 9-yard completion, and I believe Skyview is going to be called for a horse collar tackle.
Yeah, it looked like number 5 on Skyview, Pennington, was going in, and he kind of stopped. I'm not quite sure he grabbed him. I don't know, but he kind of corralled him in into the tackle.
That is the second 15-yard penalty against Skyview on this drive for the Rams. And so now it is 1st and goal for Highland. Actually, 1st and 10 with the ball at the 11-yard line. So they can get to the 1 and pick up the first down. 3 receivers bunched to the right side, single receiver to the left. And Whitmer out of a shotgun. Skyview showing blitz. They complete it in the flat right side to Barella, spinning like a top at the 10. And again, Tarek Pennington out there on the tackle for Skyview. So a gain of only a yard on that reception to Barella.
Yeah, Barella and Pennington, I think it's going to be a fun matchup going on tonight. They're kind of pitted against each other there on that side, and I think that's going to be pretty fun to watch.
Right, and this is the age-old question when we get to the 5A playoffs, right? Skyview was basically the 5th-place team from the conference. Well, a lot of people would say Boise's 5th best is better than the 2nd best from the north or from the east.
Mm-hmm.
Highland, this is their chance to prove that, there's more to football than just the Boise Valley. Whitmer, quarterback draw, lowering the shoulder inside the 5, taking it down to the 1, should be enough for the first down. We'll see where they spot it.
Man, you got to like that from Whitmer, just lowering the shoulder and getting a couple extra yards. Oh, I thought he was a little farther than that, but yeah, that was a nice run. And I think that's what Highland does well, and I think if they balance that between Parrish and Whitmer, as far as running it and don't get too one-sided, I think they're going to be pretty successful.
8-yard run for Whitmer makes it 3rd and 1 for Highland with the ball at the 2. So again, they can get the first down without getting the touchdown. 1:40 to play in our opening quarter. No score yet, but Highland knocking at the door. They've got an offensive lineman as a fullback in the backfield for Highland, big number 52. High snap, Whitmer trying to go up the middle, and they snuff it out. Tarek Pennington again in on the tackle for Skyview, as Whitmer maybe got back to the line of scrimmage and might have even lost a yard. We'll see where they put it.
I mean, if you're going to put the offensive line guy in there, you got to give him the ball, right?
Well, they had him in there. That was Peyton Harding, the lineman that was in there as the blocking fullback.
Yeah, and Skyview didn't really bite on that. They just went right for Whitmer.
Whitmer started outside and then went back to the middle. 4th and 1 from the 2. Whitmer will take it himself, will push his way into the end zone for a Highland touchdown. So from 2 yards out, Jack Whitmer gets the first points of the game for Highland. It's 6-0 Rams with 50 seconds to go in our opening quarter.
Yeah, so basically, though, that was Skyview's own demise there with the two big penalties, right? The face mask that brought it all the way to the other side of the 50, and then that horse collar was another 15 variety. So penalties very costly there.
And now it's Ian Hershey on for the point after try, one of the best kickers, not just in the state this year, but maybe all time, when we're talking all-time kicking greats from the state of Idaho. And Ian Hershey drills the PAT, no problem.
And one of the top probably kicking prospects in the Northwest, or even bigger, a bigger net, right? But
yes,
if you're in this area and you know about Highland football, I'm sure you're looking at him.
Schools like Nevada, California, competing for Hershey's interests and his services. And so Highland scores first, 7-0 Rams, 2-yard touchdown run by Jack Whitmer with 50 seconds to play in the opening quarter of action. But again, that drive was really aided by a couple of costly penalties against Skyview.
Yeah, Highland had one run, and we thought it was a penalty on a Highland, but it was that hands in the face and 15 yards, and that just really got him on the other side of the field. And then that horse collar, which was just an interesting call down there, just got him in scoring position, and that really aided Highland. And Skyview's got to kind of look for an answer here, I think, and just get something going, maybe a few first downs. Their offense has been pretty stagnant here in the first half.
So Highland's Ian Hershey will kick off here, and I mean, indoors, Holt Arena, this will be a touchback. I mean, no sense in even. I mean, he is such a powerful leg. That goes almost through the back of the end zone.
Yeah, it was on the, if you've been to the Holt Arena, it says Idaho State. It was on the far side of the I.
Right.
Not the 10-yard side.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Skyline, starting at their own 20-yard line. There's 50 seconds to play in our opening quarter of action, and they'll be working right to left on your, I always say radio dial because I used to do radio. Of course, you're listening to this on the internet. So right to left here in this remaining 50 seconds of the opening quarter.
Yeah, and these two teams did play last year in just a regular season game, and Highland won 38-25, and they had 2 interceptions and maybe a fumble recovery, but they had 3 or 4 turnovers in that game. So,
yeah, it was a game they just put on the schedule because of COVID-19, right? They each had teams that canceled, and so they decided to play each other. Penalty flag before this can start, and a delay of game against Skyview.
Just the calls are kind of just mounting up here against them. I always feel the delay of game is just hard to do in the dome. I don't know why. I feel like the clocks are big.
Right.
Got,
the scoreboard is huge, and
you should have that wherewithal, but
especially on the first play of the drive, right? 1st and 15 now for Skyview. Ball back at their own 15-yard line. Cut forth out of a shotgun. 3 receivers to the right. Feeling the pressure off his back foot and nearly intercepted at the 15-yard line by Mason Fulmer. It went in and out of the hands of the Rams linebacker, and that would have been disastrous for Skyview.
Yeah, Mason Fulmer pulls that down. That's 6. He had it. It was just a little behind him, I mean, which is good for Skyview. But, yep, that ball, into 2 people. I just don't think Mason Fulmer saw it until it was right at his hands.
Cutforth tried to step up in the pocket, and Eli Anderton was there for Highland, and so he was like, yeah, and then he threw it off his back foot, and that's why. Anyway, 2nd and 15, Cutforth over the middle. That's caught in stride. Tarek Pennington beats his man and will take this all the way into the end zone for a Skyview potential game-tying touchdown. That is an 85-yard touchdown from Cutforth to Pennington. One-on-one coverage. He beat his man Andrew Schneider in coverage, Campbell Thomas in coverage. And he was off to the races.
And it was good coverage. It was a good throw. I mean, it was a tight little space he had to get that ball into him, to Pennington, and Pennington got it and turned and see ya.
And now Skyview will line up for a point after try of their own. Tino Galvan will come on for the kick with 30 seconds to play here in our opening quarter of action. An 85-yard touchdown from Cutforth to Pennington, and that kick missed wide right. So Skyview trailing still 7-6 with 30 seconds to play here in our opening quarter of action.
And if I'm an opposing team again, and I'm playing Highland, I always get worried being down by 1 point because Highland has such a kicking weapon in Hershey. So, if Skyview scores again, I wouldn't be surprised if they go for 2 with just that in the back of their mind.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, what a way to respond for the Hawks with the 85-yard score. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Big Insurance. Cost of building has doubled in the last few years. If your house burnt down, would you have enough insurance coverage to rebuild it? Are you paying too much for your business insurance? Go to biginsurance.com. And in just a few minutes, see if you can find enough insurance to rebuild your house at a better price. Then let the folks at biginsurance.com help you make sure you have all the coverages you need, but not the ones you don't. Feel free to drop by one of the biginsurance.com offices in Nampa, Star, and Emmett, or give them a call at 208-365-2160. Biginsurance.com, where insurance companies come to shop for you. So Skyview to kick off now. 30 seconds to play in our opening quarter of action. 7-6. Highland leads by 1. This is a line drive kick that was nearly touched by one of the up men. Instead, it'll be taken on a bounce at the 15 and a big return. This is Jackson Schumann out to the 45-yard line and down to the 46.
Yeah, I'm just a little confused by their kicking,
Well, I think they've seen Barella a couple of times on punt returns.
So trying to avoid him. Yeah, I mean, you got to try different things, I guess, but it just seems a little interesting to me.
Pick your poison. Barella and Schumann both.
They're very quick guys.
Yeah, small but speedy. 1st and 10 for Highland, leading 7-6 from their own 46-yard line. 24 seconds to play in the first quarter. 3 wide to the left, 1 to the right, and a penalty flag here and a false start against Highland. I think they're going to call that on Jackson Schumann, the man in motion. He never got set before they snapped the ball, so Schumann called for the penalty here for Highland. That'll be a 5-yard variety, and 1st and 15 for the Rams now from their own 39. Oh, now they respot it to the 41. I was going to say, it didn't look quite right.
Yeah. The far line judge, he made sure it got in the right spot. So great officiating crew getting it done tonight.
Schumann in motion left to right. They fake to him. Whitmer throws to the far side of the field. That's caught by Barella. Penalty flag comes out again as Barella makes the reception up to the 50-yard line. Good for a gain of 7, but we'll see what the flag is here. With 15 seconds to play in our opening quarter of action, it is against Highland. I think they got him for a block in the back there. So it's hard because neither team is able to get really any momentum going. There's so many penalties on both sides.
It's kind of a jagged game, right? It's not got a really good flow to it. Highland marched down the field, but not because their offense was on fire, just because it was penalties. And then, Skyview really hasn't got anything going, but then they just had one huge play for 85 yards. So it's kind of just been kind of topsy-turvy here. And that's the end of the first quarter.
So Highland will let the clock run out, and after a quarter of play, it is Highland 7, Skyview 6. Back with the second quarter right after this break. You're listening to the 2021 Idaho High School Football Playoffs on IdahoSports.com.
Lead the charge into a brighter future with the all-new 2022 Volkswagen ID4. With an EPA estimated range of 250 miles, the ID4 knows how to go the distance. It's an electric SUV that's as fun to drive as it is stylish and functional. You don't have to sacrifice good looks for great performance. So stop by our dealership today and jumpstart your year with the Volkswagen ID4. Teton Volkswagen, where it's always no problem to buy and service your vehicle.
Why spend 15 minutes quoting your insurance with one company? Go to biginsurance.com and let leading insurance companies shop for your insurance. You can even chat with one of our agents standing by only at biginsurance.com.
Back inside Holt Arena in Pocatello on IdahoSports.com. I'm Brandon Bainey. He's Sean Kane. We start the second quarter with the Highland Rams facing a 1st down and 22, and as Whitmer was rolling out on the right side and throwing that pass in the flat to Riddle, it got broken up on the right side. A nice job from Skyview that time, and coming in to bust up the play for the Skyview Hawks defensively. Looked like it was actually big number 66 on the defensive line, Charles Judy. Charles Judy is a great basketball player for Skyview as well. He's a post inside. Camden Young, we were talking about earlier, he's the point guard on the Skyview basketball team. So multi-sport athletes, you love to see it. Handoff on 2nd down and 22 will be to Riddle. He takes it up to the 40-yard line where it'll be 3rd down and long.
Yeah, and Riddle getting a lot of action tonight for Highland. We saw him just a little bit in Rigby, but I don't know how much he played in Idaho Falls, but maybe he started to get a little more action during that Idaho Falls game last week.
Yeah, I think that's the plan, is to try and alternate, Parrish and Riddle depending on what they need their back to do. 3rd and 15 for Highland from their own 41. Whitmer going to take a deep shot, looking for the one-on-one coverage, and it's incomplete. They were trying to go to Barella down that far sideline on the right, and Johnny Ordanescu was in there on the coverage.
Yeah, good coverage by Skyview, and Skyview's still not getting a ton of pressure on Whitmer. Whitmer's got a lot of time. I'm surprised Highland's not running it a little more. To me, it seems like they could be running the ball just a little more and opening up those passes. Skyline's not having to double coverage anyone at this point.
Yeah, you wonder at what point Whitmer starts to take off and run with those. 4th down, Ian Hershey to punt, and for as great of a kicker as he is, he's an excellent punter as well. Drills this one in a directional kick. Bobbled at the 15-yard line. Picked up on a hop, though, by Aiden Martinez of Skyview. Penalty flag comes out from 2 officials as Martinez returns it to the 24-yard line. We'll see what the call is here. Boy, Aiden Martinez went up the field. That punt for Skyview went right off his fingertips. Luckily, he was able to pick it up off the hop.
Yeah, and it was almost one of those cases something bad could have went really good because if he would have gotten to the edge, but yeah, very, very. I think it's going to be a block in the back on Skyview here.
So it is a holding call against Skyview on the return, or block in the back, I guess. Again, so boy, we've had a lot of penalties here tonight.
As soon as it kind of gets going, it stops. Someone punts and then stops and goes. The rhythm's just not. It's just not. I don't know. It's the first round of the playoff. Both teams just probably a little kind of getting the cobweb shaked out a little bit. Highland's been here before. Skyview, I don't believe they made it last year, so kind of a new experience for them here in the state playoffs.
Yeah, they have struggled at the 5A level. At the 4A level, of course, they were a pretty regular participant. Low snap, cut forth on 1st down, completes to the right side of the formation, caught at the 10-yard line. And then working backwards, maybe gained a yard on that reception. And on the catch that time for Skyview was Mason Cron. So Cron does get 2 yards up to the 10. And it'll be 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, and you kind of get to feel like Skyview's just kind of holding, right? I kind of feel like they're just kind of holding and biting their time if they can.
2nd and 8. Handoff out of the gun, and on the carry is Camden Young on a little sweep play this time to the left side. Young will take it up to the 15-yard line, where it will be 3rd down and 3. So a nice gain of 5 on that run by Camden Young. Yeah, when you're backed up this close to your own end zone, right, the ball is at their own 15-yard line. You kind of have to be careful with what you're doing.
Yeah, they don't want to give Highland great field position, right back after they got a defensive stop.
3rd and 3, pass complete to the 20 on the right side. That's Tarek Pennington. And Pennington will take it to the 30 where he steps out of bounds. A gain of 15 and a 1st down, and there's the breathing room Skyview needed.
Yeah, that was a nice job. Nice little block, too, by Mason Crom. He had a nice block there for Pennington and able to get a few extra yards because of that. You got to love it when receivers are willing to block for their other receiver buddies.
Yeah, for a lot of coaches, that's the #1 rule, right? If you don't block, you don't play.
Yeah.
Over the middle in traffic, Pennington snares it at the 30, up to the 35 and the 36, and another penalty flag comes out. We'll see what the call is here. 9:41 to go before halftime. 7-6, Highland leading by 1 and a block in the back against Skyview. Well, I'll tell you, the second game tonight in Holt Arena, Pocatello and Bonneville, scheduled to kick off at 8 o'clock. The rate we're going, Sean, might be closer to 9.
The concession stands aren't closing, so it should be all right. No, it's not going. The flow is not great. But Pennington for Skyview, when I look at him, he looks like he could be a running back. I wouldn't be surprised if he got some runs tonight back there.
He is a great athlete. There's a lot of good athletes on this Skyview team. It is now 1st down and really long here with the ball at the 21-yard line. They will hand off up the middle to Antonio Fafita. And Fafita takes it to the 25, so a gain of 4. And it's 2nd and 16 now for Skyview. Working left to right now in this second quarter of action. 9 minutes to play before halftime. 7-6, Highland lead. 2nd and 16, cut forth, rolling out right side, has time, fires on a comeback route that's caught at the 38-yard line. On the reception on the near side is Camden Young. And so Young is able to take it from the 25 to the 37-yard line. That is a gain of 12, and it's 3rd down and 4.
So it kind of feels like a big 3rd down here to me. I mean, just maybe if Skyview can keep the ball moving.
3rd and 4 from their own 37, and Cutforth was trying to throw an out route to Young. Threw it too far in front of him, 4th down. And now here's the question, if you're Skyview coach David Young, do you keep your offense out there and go for it, or do you punt and trust your defense? Coach Young, earlier this year, you mentioned he's been coaching a long time. Earlier this season, picked up career win number 100, which is a big milestone.
Yeah, I mean, that's just an amazing feat, and congratulations to him.
4th and... go ahead.
Oh, it looks like they're going to go for it, but then the timeout.
Yeah, 4th and 4 for Skyview. I think they were just trying the hard count to get Highland to jump off sides, and now they'll take the timeout and probably punt here with 8:23 to play before halftime. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Trans Systems LLC. Trans Systems is a family-run business that hauls more sugar beets than anyone. They offer all types of people good work, good pay, and a good life. They're currently looking for Class A CDL drivers who want good work, good pay, and a good life in their American Falls, Paul, Twin Falls, and Nampa locations. Visit their website at transsystemsllc.com for more information. The team at Trans Systems proudly supports the student athletes competing in tonight's contest.
So, yeah, kind of a rough first half here, Brandon. Kind of a lot of penalties. I think there's been a penalty about on every drive for either side. You know, there's just been penalties galore on either Highland's drive offensively or Skyview's drive offensively.
Well, I think a low-scoring game favors Highland more. Skyview would like to get into a shootout if they could. 4th down and 4. Galvan going to punt again here for the Hawks. We'll take the snap. That was nearly blocked by Highland as they came off the edge. And that line drive kick will fall out of bounds on the near sideline right at the 30-yard line. Not a bad kick, all things considered, as 2 Highland Rams, Colton George and Campbell Thomas, almost came through to block it.
Yeah, Highland was extremely close to blocking that ball. So, nice job by the Highland defense to put some pressure on the kicker.
And now here's the Rams offense back to work again. A touchdown, a turnover, and a punt for Highland so far in this game. Highland now working right to left in this second quarter. 8:15 to play before halftime, leading 7-6. 1st and 10 from their own 30. Out of the shotgun, Whitmer, QB draw, runs into his own lineman and just gets back to the line of scrimmage. Took off right, ran into the back of his own guy, went left, and got right back to the line where Fafita and Charles Judy combined on the stop for Skyview.
Yeah, so in that case, he didn't really have the pressure was there and didn't have the time. But I'm thinking one of these times when Whitmer has all that time, he's going to break one for a big play.
Well, we'll see. Skyview's kept him bottled up so far tonight. That was a run of 0 yards on that last play. 2nd and 10. 3 receivers to the right, a tight end to the left. On 2nd and 10, Whitmer rolling out right side, will fire it deep. It's caught at the 40-yard line by Schumann. And Jackson Schumann races out of bounds around the Skyview 46. That's a gain of 16 and a 1st down. So Jackson Schumann with his 2nd grab of the night. 2 catches for 36 yards.
Nice job by him. I think for Highland, it's just to keep that balance, kind of get a bunch of different people involved, so the defense has to keep on their toes. It can't just focus in on one Highland player offensively.
Yeah, Highland has a lot of different playmakers this year. It is 1st and 10 from their own 46. 3 receivers left, single receiver right. It is a quarterback keeper on a read option play, and Whitmer lowering the shoulder across the 45 of Skyview down to the Hawks 43. And that will be enough for another Highland 1st down.
Well, Whitmer sure likes to lower his shoulder at the end of those runs, man. He really goes for some extra yardage there.
A gain of 11 on that last carry by Whitmer.
So Highland kind of getting some rhythm here, moving the ball. Probably the best really anyone has tonight.
Yeah, he's leading the team with 6 carries so far. 6:50 to play before halftime. 1st and 10 for Highland. Ball to Skyview 43. And a 7-6 Rams lead. Another read option play off the right side. Whitmer across the 40 and down to the 37-yard line where it'll be 2nd down and 4. Now you're starting to see some designed runs to the outside for Whitmer to get him a little more comfortable.
Yeah, I think, they went for some passes earlier, so now the defense is, looking for the pass, and it's kind of harder to zero in on that run, that option, whether or not the quarterback's going to go for it or pass it. Kind of spreads out the defense a little bit.
2 receivers left, single receiver right, 2nd and 5 from the 38 of Skyview for the Rams. Whitmer fakes the toss and a shovel pass inside to Schumann, but that's blown up at the 40-yard line. Fafita snuffed it out, and Colton Fleshman helped finish off the play as well for Skyview. So that loses a yard.
So that was almost like tried to do too much, Fake it one way, we'll go this way, and then shuffle pass it. It seemed like a little too much going on, and Skyview didn't bite on any of it.
Yeah, Skyview was not fooled on that. So 5.5 to play before halftime, 7-6. Rams lead, 3rd and 5 for Highland at the 38-yard line of the Hawks. Hard count. Who moved first? Skyview pointing to Highland, and the official agrees. False start on the Rams, so instead of 3rd and 5 from the 38, it's now 3rd and 10 with the ball back at the Skyview 43.
And it was almost like I didn't want to say anything, and we hadn't had a flag for a while, and then it popped out. I was just not going to say anything.
Right.
But kind of had its little ugly head popped out there and put Highland back.
Just by thinking it, you had the broadcaster jinx.
I'll take it. Put it down.
Sean's going to wear it. 5 wide, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Whitmer all alone on 3rd and 10. Skyview brings 4. Whitmer pulls it down, stands tall, fires it deep. A man wide open, all alone at the 5. A busted coverage and a touchdown for Highland. Raymond Barella. A 43-yard touchdown from Whitmer to Barella, and that was a busted coverage, Sean, as there was nobody within 15 yards of Barella at the 5-yard line. He turned around and caught that lofter like a punt and took it in.
Yeah, I was watching the line of scrimmage, and I thought Whitmer was just going to get rocked. And then as he got rid of it, I looked up, and Barella is all by himself. He was almost in income, I think, by himself out there, I can't believe no one had Barella.
And offsetting unsportsmanlike conduct penalties as well, as Barella was jawing a little bit with the Skyview player. Barella's been jawing a little bit tonight.
Yeah, he had it with Pennington a little bit earlier. And
yeah. So
fiery.
Yes, offsetting personal foul penalties. So basically a warning to both sides. Hershey will line up for the point after try again here with 4:46 to play before halftime. And he drills it. So 14-6. Highland in front with 4:46 to play here before halftime. We'll step aside and come right back with more second quarter action. You're listening to the 2021 Idaho High School Football Playoffs on IdahoSports.com.
It's not a secret that finding a new car this year is a little tricky. Between chip shortages and supply problems, there's more reasons than ever to come to our no-problem dealerships when you need a new car or truck. Our acquisitions team works hard to make sure that we have a great selection of vehicles to choose from, and our easy-to-buy, easy-to-do business with sales team is ready to deliver the same great value price that we've had for nearly 20 years. Teton Toyota, where it's always no problem to buy and service your car.
Back inside Holtz Arena in Pocatello, Brandon Bainey with Sean Kane. 4:46 to play before halftime in Highland in front of Skyview in this 5A first-round postseason game. 14-6, a 43-yard touchdown pass from Jack Whitmer to Raymond Barella. And now Ian Hershey to kick off again, and oh, baby, he nearly drilled that through the uprights.
Through the back, close.
Through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now, we should mention, Sean, that the kicking, we talked about Skyview on their point after try. It was pushed wide right. Well, here inside Holt Arena, these are permanent goalposts that hang down from the ceiling. There's no actual post in terms of one that comes up out of the ground, right?
Yeah.
They hang down from the ceiling, and there's the crossbar, and then there's nothing below it. It's suspended. So because of that, they can't move it, right? Well, in college, the goalposts are more narrow. So these high school players that haven't been to Holt Arena, like Skyview, have to adjust to a smaller target to try and kick that ball through. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Hawks. Handoff to Antonio Fafita, trying to break it outside. Will take it off left tackle for a gain of 2.
Yeah, and probably just looking at it, just kind of how the Holt Arena is, it probably just looks much more narrow to those high school players too, right? I mean, it just kind of has that look to it, the goalposts.
Absolutely. 2nd and 7. Draw play for Fafita again, banging into guys across the 25, and we'll take it to the 26. Another gain of 3 for Fafita. And it'll be 3rd and 4 now for the Hawks, with 4 minutes to play before halftime. Skyview will get the ball to start the second half. So if Skyview can put together a drive here, maybe tie this thing up and get the ball to start the third quarter, they'll be in great shape.
Yeah, that'll be a huge momentum shift.
3rd and 4 from the 26. Cut for throwing deep. That is caught at the 40-yard line. Tarek Pennington with another sensational grab. A gain of 14 and a first down.
Yeah, Campbell Thomas of Highland on the coverage. He's there, but Pennington is just, once he gets his mitts on it, it's not going anywhere else.
He does have very solid hands. You're right.
And a great pass, too, that the pass is coming in there just right on target, out to the shoulders receivers.
Max Cutforth, a pretty polished passer. Handoff inside to Fafita on 1st and 10 from the 40. And Fafita gets right back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Cody Colvin meets him head-on the tackle for Highland.
Yeah, and we've mentioned it. Highland's front line is just tenacious, and they're going to really make you work for it if you go inside the tackles there to try to get running yards.
Absolutely. So 2nd and 10 for Skyview, 2:50 and counting before halftime. Hawks down 14-6. It's a screen pass. Little middle screen that's off the hands of Pennington on the right side. Incomplete, 3rd down. A lot of zip on that pass from Cutforth on the screen, and Pennington couldn't quite haul it in.
Yeah, and it might have hit someone else's hand too. Is that what it looked? It kind of looked like to me that it hit two sets of hands going into Pennington.
Certainly could have. It'll be 3rd down and 10 now for Skyview from their own 40, working left to right here in this second quarter. 2:46 to play before halftime. Hawks trailing 14-6. Cutforth with 4 wide, 2 to either side. Rolling out left side, feeling the heat on the run, floats it. Pennington hauled in at the Highland 30-yard line and out of bounds at the Highland 25.
Pennington has just been unreal. That was a pretty acrobatic catch there by him, and wow, just great job finding him.
That is a gain of 35 from Cutforth to Pennington, and again, like you said, the coverage was right there, and Pennington just took it away again.
Yeah, I mean, Highlands, it's not like they're leaving Pennington open by any means. There's a guy bodied up in him. He's just making catches, and Cutforth's making the throws.
1st and 10. Cutforth back to pass. Rolling out left side as time. Zips it to the 15. That is a catch on the far sideline, and that is Mason Cron for the 2nd time tonight. That is a gain of 11 and a first down. And you can feel Skyview getting into a rhythm with their passing game here.
And he's getting it out quick. It's a quick pass. They're not letting the Highland get the pressure, and quick passes are pretty efficient right now.
1st and 10 from the 15, actually the 14 over the middle, caught inside the 10, down to the 7-yard line. That was Camden Young that time, finding the soft spot in the defense. A gain of 7 from Cutforth to Young. And all of a sudden, Skyview has it 2nd and 3. Ball is at the Highland 7 with 1:55 to play before halftime. Hawks down 8. They will do a fly sweep on the right side to Fafita inside the 5, spinning down to the 3. Should have enough for the first down. They only needed to get to the 5. So that's a gain of 4 for Fafita and a 1st and goal for Skyview with the ball at the Highland 3-yard line. And again, if you're Skyview, you're okay with the clock running a little bit here, right?
Yeah, I think they've moved it down pretty quickly. That's kind of been their quickest drive, really.
All about that rhythm passing. 1:25 to play before halftime. Quarterback keeper for Cutforth up the middle, trying to stretch. Ball nearly came out. Cutforth is able to get a yard to the 2-yard line, where it will be 2nd and goal. They're actually going to put that right back at the 3, so right back to the line of scrimmage. No gain for Cutforth. Down to a minute to play in our first half. Skyview trailing 14-6, but they've got a 2nd and goal from the Highland 3. 2 receivers to the right, single receiver to the left. Cutforth back to pass, looking that way. Slant route caught by Pennington with a penalty flag to boot. Should be pass interference, but on which side? They're going to say it was on Pennington, I think. I like that play. Oh, pass interference against Highland. So decline it. Touchdown, Skyview. That was a nice 3-yard slant from Cutforth to Pennington. I liked that play call because you had everybody on the right side except for Pennington all alone on the left. You're thinking of fade, and he cut to the inside on the slant route.
Yeah, and again, Highland, the defender is right on there. He jumped the route a little early. That was the pass interference, but Pennington, another big catch.
Skyview going for 2 in the tie, and they've got it. Rollout pass to the right side to Pennington. And Cutforth gets the 2-point conversion, and we're tied at 14 with 48 seconds to play before halftime.
And if you're Skyview, that's exactly what you wanted after that busted play in Barela gets a huge 43-yard touchdown, is to come back and just have your best drive, really, of the game. That was their most, I think this is their best drive. It was from all the way back from the kickoff, and they took it all the way down the field, and it was the passing. They had really good passing games right there, and most of the big passes were to, well, you guessed it, Pennington.
So Skyview and Coach Young has done a great job of adjusting, right? The Highland pass rush was giving Skyview fits early on in this game. So what do? We adjust. Let's go with some quick timed passes. And with that strategy, Highland hasn't proved yet that they could stop Tarek Pennington, right? 2 touchdown receptions. He caught the 2-point conversion pass from Cutforth. And Skyview has all the momentum right now.
Yeah, and it's a great adjustment. It's taking time away from the Highland defense, and that time is what's kind of been, what they've been really good at is if they have time, they get in and get things done. And quick passes have taken that time away from the linebackers, I think, to put the pressure on. And that leaves a little kind of coverage a little more softer in the middle of the field as well.
So here comes the squib kick from Skyview. Will be taken at the 15-yard line, straight up the middle by Schumann, and he gets a stiff arm to the 40. High hurdles a man to the 50, the 40, another stiff arm to the 30, still going up the near sideline. What a return by Jackson Schumann, all the way to the Skyview 24-yard line. That is a kickoff return of 65 yards. Jackson Schumann gives Highland the momentum right back.
Wow, I mean, what a turn of events, right? Skyview's just kind of taken over, and then Schumann, what a run. 2 huge stiff arms just saying, you're not going to tackle me, sir.
37 seconds to go before halftime. 1st and 10 for Highland. Ball at the Skyview 24. 3 receivers to the right, tight end to the left. Whitmer rolling out right side, looking for the backside screen to Snedden. Threw it too high. Incomplete. They were trying the backside screen to the tight end, Colton Snedden. 2nd and 10.
And they've looked for Snedden a couple times and just have overthrown him. He's been open, but just not being able to quite get him the ball.
And Snedden's got good size.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of, a typical tight end. It's kind of tall. it's a good person to give that high ball to, but just a little too high.
Yeah, 6'2", 170. 32 seconds to go before halftime. Highland has all 3 timeouts remaining still, so no cause for concern. 2nd and 10 from the Skyview 24. 3 receivers right. It's a QB sweep to the left. Whitmer to the 20 and takes it out of bounds around the 19-yard line. Gain of 5. It'll be 3rd down and 5 now for Highland.
So Highland's got, lots of options. They've got timeouts. They have a great kicker. They're just in a great position here to get some points before halftime.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what happens, unless the Rams turn it over or something, with the way Ian Hershey kicks, you feel good about Highland getting at least 3.
Which I think is big going into halftime. Skyview gets the ball, but just knowing you're going into halftime with the lead is big mentally.
3rd and 5 from the Skyview 19. 27 seconds to play before halftime. Tied at 14. Whitmer standing tall, floats it to the end zone. Wide open again. Another busted coverage from Skyview. That leads to a touchdown from the tight end, Colton Sneddon.
Wow, just wide open for Colton Sneddon.
And again, had to have been a broken coverage because there was not a guy within 5 yards of Sneddon when he caught that on the near side of the pylon.
Yeah, there was 2 other Highland receivers there too, but he was extremely wide open.
So Whitmer, 19 yards to Sneddon. Hershey kick through. Well, all of a sudden, Sean, we talked about how this game was kind of lulling.
Yeah, now it's kind of heating up. It's turned into a kind of a big play. Well, Skyview's last drive was pretty methodical, and they went down a couple big plays, and then Highland, a huge kickoff returned by Schumann, and then just another kind of just big pass play that's needed for the touchdown. So kind of just big play after big play after it was penalty after penalty. Now it's kind of some fun plays after fun plays.
Just in the last 5 minutes of this second quarter, you had the 43-yard touchdown from Whitmer to Barella on the busted coverage. You had the impressive drive by Skyview to tie the game at 14, cut forth 3-yard touchdown pass to Pennington, and then they hooked up for the 2-point conversion. Then you had the 66-yard kick return by Jackson Schumann all the way to the Skyview 24-yard line, and from there the 19-yard score from Whitmer to Sneddon. A lot of action in these last 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, if you're a fan of football, you're excited. If you're either team, I don't know.
Well, we talked about, Skyview kind of wants it to get into a shootout, right?
Yeah.
Highland is the team that would prefer to keep it low scoring if they could.
Yeah, kind of ground and pound it out.
21 seconds to go before halftime. Another touchback from Hershey. That one about 6 yards into the end zone that time.
A little shorter on that one. We'll
now
keep note.
Yeah,
Gee,
right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Now for Skyview, 1st and 10 for the Hawks from their own 20. They have 2 timeouts to work with, and we've seen that they can move the ball up the field. So,
got a couple timeouts. You've had success with those quick passes. You would have to imagine now Highland's defense is really going to try to zone in on Pennington, and that might open it up for another Skyview receiver. Someone might get a little more, might be a little looser out there in that secondary.
Absolutely. 1st and 10 for the Hawks. 2 receivers right, single receiver left. They will hand off to Fafita, and Fafita loses a yard on that carry. Leading the charge for Highland that time defensively was Eli Anderton. And Fafita loses 2 yards on the carry. And that'll be the end of the first half. So after all of that, Skyview says, we'll just go to halftime. Skyview does get the ball to start the second half. So it's Highland on top at the halftime break, 21-14 over Skyview. We'll have the halftime show headed your way right after this break. You're listening to the 2021 Idaho High School Football Playoffs on IdahoSports.com.
can't believe we have to make this commercial.
It's ridiculous.
You'll think it's ridiculous too. Listen to this.
This commercial is about, well, it's about parents being rude at high school athletic events.
Ridiculous, right?
It gets worse. Studies show more than 75% of new high school officials are quitting because of bad adult behavior.
So now there's a shortage of refs here in Idaho, in almost all sports.
No officials means no more games.
Is that what you want for us?
Come on, parents.
It's time to grow up.
Cheer for your team.
Be proud of your children.
But stop being so ridiculous.
And don't make us run another commercial.
Because we will.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association, reminding you to always practice good sportsmanship.
You've heard it before. There is no I in team, but there is an I in dairy. Dairy foods are a great source of protein, which is vital for helping rebuild and repair muscles after exercise, so your body can be at the top of its game at your next competition. So grab some milk, cheese, or yogurt after you work out, train, or play. Yes, it's true. There is no I in team, but there is an I in win. For more help finding your greatness, visit unbottled.com.
It's time to start planning for back to school. That's why I got my kids vaccinated for COVID-19, so they can be protected from COVID when they're back in the classroom. Kids 12 and older can get vaccinated. The vaccines have been researched and tested. They're safe and they work. Getting vaccinated was quick and easy. You can walk into a pharmacy to get one. We got our COVID-19 vaccine, and I hope everyone will choose to get vaccinated too.
Get a free COVID-19 vaccine today. Find a location near you at covidvaccine.idaho.gov.
A hit in the morning, another between class, after school, and more before bed. Vaping sucks you in quick. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems everyone's talking about. That's why thousands of teens are ready to take back their life their own way with My Life, My Quit. When you sign up with us, you'll get a free and simple quit plan that makes it easier to stop vaping. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Dear Exit Strategy, all your pieces are in place. A tranquil lake, a serene sky, an emerald forest, a secret hideout. Thanks for being there just when I need you most. Always Toyota SUVs.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
We're Valley-wide cooperative. For 100 years, we've been your first choice for residential and commercial propane, fuels, oils, and lubricants. We service HVAC, install water heaters, propane tanks, and accessories. And yes, we'll even deliver right where you need it. Because for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Perform, refuel, recover, repeat. It's the recipe for success in any kind of sport, and dairy can be a key ingredient in every one of those steps. Dairy foods supply your body with high-quality protein to rebuild and repair muscle, carbohydrates to help you refuel, and fluid and electrolytes to help you rehydrate. So your personal recipe for greatness can be perform, win, repeat. For more help finding your greatness, visit unbottled.com.
I decided to get vaccinated because I wanted to protect myself and my family and my customers from COVID-19. When I went to get my COVID-19 vaccine, it was an easy process. It's readily available. Since I got vaccinated, I'm confident I'm protected against the COVID-19 virus. My life has returned to business as usual.
Lead the charge into a brighter future with the all-new 2022 Volkswagen ID4. With an EPA estimated range of 250 miles, the ID4 knows how to go the distance. It's an electric SUV that's as fun to drive as it is stylish and functional. You don't have to sacrifice good looks for great performance. So stop by our dealership today and jumpstart your year with the Volkswagen ID4. Teton Volkswagen, where it's always no problem to buy and service your vehicle.
Why spend 15 minutes quoting your insurance with one company? Go to biginsurance.com and let leading insurance companies shop for your insurance. You can even chat with one of our agents standing by only at biginsurance.com.
Lead the charge into a brighter future with the all-new 2022 Volkswagen ID4. With an EPA estimated range of 250 miles, the ID4 knows how to go the distance. It's an electric SUV that's as fun to drive as it is stylish and functional. You don't have to sacrifice good looks for great performance. So stop by our dealership today and jumpstart your year with the Volkswagen ID4. Teton Volkswagen, where it's always no problem to buy and service your vehicle.
Welcome back to Holt Arena in Pocatello. Opening round of the Class 5A postseason here on IdahoSports.com. And at the break, it is the Highland Rams on top of the Skyview Hawks, 21-14. Brandon Bainey with you along with Sean Kane. And it was kind of a slow-moving first half, and then it got really exciting like in the final 5 minutes of the second quarter. So how did this game start? Well, on Highland's opening drive, they throw an interception. Nicholas Ortiz picks off the pass for Skyview, and that's the only takeaway in this first half for either side. So Skyview getting a little momentum, not able to do anything with it, though. They give the ball back to Highland. Rams put together a long drive, aided by two separate 15-yard penalties against the Hawks. That led to a 2-yard touchdown run by quarterback Jack Whitmer, and it was 7-0 Highland at the 52nd mark of the first quarter. Well, on the very next kickoff, Skyview had it at the 20. Delay of game moved it to the 15. No big deal. Very next play, Max Cutforth, an 85-yard touchdown to Tarek Pennington. The point after kick, though, was missed wide right. And so after a quarter of play, Highland had a 7-6 lead. We move on to the second quarter, where Highland and Skyview trade punts, basically, and then, like I said, we got to that 5-minute mark and things got really exciting. So 5 minutes to go before halftime. Highland still leading 7-6 when Jack Whitmer finds a wide-open Raymond Barella for a 43-yard touchdown. Blown coverage on the play by Skyview. That led to a point after attempt as well, and 14-6 Highland with 4:46 to play before halftime. Skyview gets the ball back and puts together the most impressive drive I've seen by either side, right? Started at their own 20. They just kind of slowly 7 yards here, 12 yards here, 10 yards there. Moved it all the way down the field. The drive was capped with a 3-yard touchdown pass from Max Cutforth to Tarek Pennington. Second time those two hooked up. And then they had to go for 2 to try and tie it. Well, who does Cutforth look for? Pennington again. Skyview gets the 2-point pass, ties it at 14 with just 48 seconds to play before halftime. And then On the next kickoff, Jackson Schumann for Highland returns it 66 yards all the way down to the Skyview 24. From there, Jack Whitmer throws a 19-yard touchdown pass to Colton Sneddon with just 21 seconds to play, and 21-14 Highland is where we stand at halftime.
Yeah, it was a interesting first quarter, and then the second quarter started a little slow, and then the offenses both kind of heated up and got some things going. For Skyview, it's going to come from the passing game. They had first half had 199 passing yards. Cufforth was 11 for 16 and connected with Pennington for 2 of those touchdowns. Now, from the running side of things, Skyview only had 18 rushing yards and just could not really find anything going on the ground. Young had 5, and Cutforth had 1 that was -6, and then they just really haven't been able to get anything on the ground running. But receiving wise, Young had 29 yards, Pennington had 152 yards just in the first half, and Crom had 13 yards. So for Skyview, it was definitely the passing game. Stat wise, they were able to get it done with those short, quick passes. So they kind of adjusted as the game went on and went for kind of some quick passes to catch Highland off guard. Now, Highland's defense was covering, but the passing between Cutforth and Pennington was just, they were kind of a tag team duo out there. And then for Highland, on Highland's side, Highland a little more balanced, not too much more. They had 33 yards on the ground, 16 from Parrish, they had more than that. Sorry, they had 16 from Parrish. These unofficial numbers we try to run here.
Well, and you're having to read my chicken scratch as well,
Brandon's handwriting is amazing. I take that back. Highland had a total of 62 rushing yards, 16 from Parrish, 14 from Riddle, and then 32 from Whitmer to give them a total of 62 yards rushing. So they were a little more balanced. Passing-wise, Jack Whitmer was 7 for 14 with 111 yards. He had 2 passing TDs, right? One to Barella. That was a 43-yarder, and then one right before halftime to Sneeden, a 19-yard pass into the end zone. And he also ran one in from 3 yards out. So Whitmer's been the offensive weapon for Highland. Statistically, 1 on the ground and 2 through the air. But pretty balanced from Highland, So, I think Highland has to keep running it, and Skyview might need to run it a little bit just to open up that passing, but Highland was having a difficult time stopping those kind of quick firing passes from Skyview.
Yeah, so we'll see, how each team is able to make the adjustments in the second half. Let's quickly take a look at the Friday Night Flash. This is our live in real-time updating scoreboard. Intern Keller working hard to get these scores in now. It's just getting to 7 o'clock, right? So a lot of these games haven't kicked off yet, but a couple of early games did happen, most notably at the 3A level in a first-round game today. South Fremont held off Kellogg 35-30 in a shootout. So South Fremont advances to the 3A quarterfinals. At the 1A D1 level today, a couple of early afternoon contests. Potlatch smokes Grace 46-8. Genesee does the same with Murtaugh 62-36. So that is the 4th and 3rd place teams from the White Pine League up north just dominating 2nd place teams from other conferences, showing that they really are one of the strongest conferences in 1A D1 play. 1A D2, another game that you can see on IdahoSports.com. Scott Burton on the call. 3rd quarter, Carey shutting out Timberline of Weippe 48-0. And again, if you want to see all the games that we're broadcasting tonight, and we even have one game tomorrow, you can go to the Game Streams tab on IdahoSports.com. You can see the entire broadcast schedule of games there. Other 5A first-round games set to kick off in just a matter of minutes, Sean. You've got Eagle hosting Bora. That's a game that we're going to have audio for on IdahoSports.com. Meridian hosting Madison. That It's a game we'll have audio of on IdahoSports.com.
Very interesting game, I think.
Yeah, Madison Meridian, I agree 100%. And then 7 o'clock Pacific time, so 8 o'clock Mountain time, Lewiston will host Capital. We'll have video coverage of that with Garrison Hardy on IdahoSports.com. So all the 5A games covered in some form or fashion tonight. And, of course, the 4 teams that had byes await the 4 winners, right? Rigby, Coeur d'Alene, Mountain View, and Rocky Mountain. The winner of this game, Skyview and Highland, will get to play Rocky Mountain next week in the quarterfinal round. Either way, it would be interesting because both of these teams played Rocky Mountain already this season.
Yeah, Highland, that week 0 game, it was 12-7. It was kind of, both teams kind of just starting the year, right? And then Skyview played, and it was 49-21, I believe. So, it was 49-21. So Rocky Mountain got some scoring done in that game, but Skyview had 21 points. So that was their common opponent. I'm sure either team would love to get into the next round and face that Rocky Mountain team again.
Absolutely. So you got to get there first, though.
Yeah.
You got to survive this wild second half of action between Skyview and Highland. Did I only hand you the Skyview stats? Did I not hand you the Highland? I handed you the Highland stats, right? Did you hand it back to me? I've got both in my hands. I'm wondering if I ever gave you the Highland stats.
I have the Highland stats. So
okay,
yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure.
made them up.
Well, it shows that when you talk, I don't pay any attention to what you're saying.
No, but I had them. I must have just handed them back.
We've got a lot going on here at IdahoSports.com tonight. No doubt about it. We're just about ready to get underway with the third quarter of action here from Holt Arena in Pocatello. Highland leading 21-14, and they will have to kick off to start this second half.
Yeah, you got to think, Skyview had an opportunity to kind of close out the half tied up with Highland and was unable to do it. So they're going to want to come out here and I think put together a good offensive drive. It's just kind of one thing, the coaches talked about is Highland's got players on both sides of the ball and Skyview doesn't. So this third quarter really could be the pace-setting quarter.
So Highland ready to kick off here in this third quarter of action. And once again into the end zone for a touchback. Just a yard or two, though. So that's short by Hershey's standards for Highland.
Yeah, I kind of just forget, Highland pretty much it's going to be a touchback automatic. Like I'm getting all geared up to watch the kick return, and then I'm like, oh yeah, it's Hershey. We're probably going to get a touchback. What was it? Armando Gonzalez, Rigby's head coach, said that's how they game planned all week for Highland. We know it's going to be a touchback every time, so that was kind of their game plan.
It's a weapon if you're having to start at your own 20 every single time, absolutely.
We know our plays are going to start from the 20-yard line every time.
So 1st and 10 and a big run. Antonio Fafita takes it across the 40 all the way to the 41. And a gain of 21 on first down.
And I think that's great for Skyview is to get that running game going, get Fafita going. He just couldn't really get anything anywhere. And Highland, I think, was looking for the pass and, start running the ball. The pass opens back up.
1st and 10 for Skyview now from their own 41, working left to right in this third quarter. Fafita up the middle this time and only gets 2 to the 43. So second down and we'll call it 3, I guess. Tis the season. 2nd and 7. I used that line last night with Tim Belknap, but since I've got a new partner this evening, I can recycle all that.
Use the lines.
I can recycle all that A material I used last night. 2nd and 7, low snap, Cutforth has it, has time, now in trouble, hit as he throws by Colvin, off the fingertips of Pennington, coming over the middle, incomplete. So Colvin was bearing down on Cutforth, and Mason Fulmer with good coverage for Highland also.
And I think that's a smart move, having Mason Fulmer. He's a fast guy. Get in there and cover Pennington. That's a good matchup too. Remember, like you said, Mason Fulmer was running back for a little bit a couple years ago in the playoffs.
Yeah, his freshman year. So Highland coach Gino Mariani loves to, this time of year, pull up some of those JV and freshman players and add them to the varsity roster. And sometimes he throws them in there just to kind of see what they can do. 3rd and 7, play action, cut forth again, hit as he throws, but it's complete to the far side, right at the first down marker. And it should be enough for a first down to Camden Young. It is. They needed 7. That's exactly what they got.
And the Skyview offense kind of rolling. The last 2 times now they've had the ball, they've just kind of been able to, pass and run and just kind of rolling here.
Yeah, Skyview, when they have time, they're in pretty good rhythm. You mentioned it. 1st and 10 for the Hawks. Ball is at the Highland 49-yard line. 10.5 to play third quarter. Hawks trailing 21-14. Back to pass. Cut forth over the middle. It's caught on a little screen pass. Nice reception made by Dallas Curran, the tight end. His first grab of the night, and Curran takes it all the way to the Highland 41 for a gain of 9.
And the Skyview offense has just kind of made some adjustments, I think, and they're looking a little better.
2nd and 1, handoff to the left side, and bouncing it outside is Antonio Fafita across the 40 to the Highland 37-yard line for a first down.
Yeah, I can use some of my A material, Brandon. It's kind of a chess match, right? When
you
have 40 years of coaching experience between the coaches, you're definitely going to have a pretty good chess match on your hands.
Absolutely. Both these guys can play chess, but can they play football? That's the question. 9:40, middle screen, caught by Fafita at the 40. He lost a couple of yards. Nice open field tackle by Highland's Adam Jones. First time we've called his name tonight. He's such a lockdown corner that you usually don't see him involved too much.
No, he's usually covers one of the better receivers of the opposing team. Adam Jones does, and he's another one of those Highland, players that's very fast. They must have a good track or something. I don't know. They're all very fast.
Adam Jones was an all-state defensive back and an all-state punt returner a year ago. He doesn't return punts anymore, but 2nd down and 12. Cut forth, rolling out, throwing across his body. It's complete at the 30-yard line to Camden Young. That'll be 3rd down and 2 now for Skyline with the ball at the Highland 30.
And between Young and Pennington, that's just a great 2-headed receiving monster for Skyview, man. They have both sides of the field they can throw it to.
Time of possession as well. 8:30 to play here in the 3rd. Skyview's had the ball the entire time. Quarterback draw for Cutforth. They faked it to Fafita off the left side. Everybody on Highland bit. And Cutforth is able to take it all the way to the 29-yard line for a first down. Actually to the 23 for a gain of 6 and a first down.
Yeah, very rare to catch Highland's defense off guard there.
1st and 10, a little up-tempo now for Skyview. And Cutforth, another keeper right up the middle, and picks up 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8 with the ball at the Highland 21.
Yeah, that was essentially the same play. He faked the handoff and just followed his blocker right up the middle.
7:50 and counting in the 3rd. Highland leading 21-14, but Skyview on the move. 2nd and 8 from the Highland 21. Cutforth throwing to the far side, too high. Trying to go to Cron that time on the far side, Mason Cron. And as Cron went up for it, a full-bodied tackle out there by Highland's Colton George defensively. Actually, that was Jackson Sabuma who was in coverage.
Sabuma laid down the boom.
Yeah, yes, he did. 3rd and 8 for Skyview from the Highland 21. 7:43 to play in the 3rd. Middle screen off the hands of Pennington. 4th down.
And now a couple of these screens have bobbled off either Skyview players or Highland players. You got to think at some point, man, someone's going to catch one of those.
Yes.
The defense on the bad side of that.
With as many tipped balls as there have been, it is somewhat surprising that Highland doesn't have any takeaways. 7:40 to play in this 5A postseason opener. Winner advances to play Rocky Mountain next week in the quarterfinals. 4th down and 8. Skyview going to go for it at the Highland 21. Cutforth feeling the heat, escapes one man. Now he's going to take off and run, has the first down, and he gets slammed into the wall out of bounds on the far side as well. And a little jawing and now a little shoving. They got to get this broken up and penalty flags come flying out. So Cutforth almost got sacked back at the 25. Took off and ran. He needed 8 yards to get the first down. He got right to the marker, and as he was stepping out of bounds, a Highland player shoved him into the padded wall on the far side. And then, of course, Skyview, a couple linemen say, hey, that's my quarterback. A lot of pushing and shoving, and finally a penalty flag was thrown.
Yeah, he was just trying to get him out of bounds. You know, it's a tough play either way, and the refs talking over, but nearly sacked, and that was a great run to get outside by Cutforth. I mean, he had lots of room. Kind of a broken play in the backfield, and the Highlands defense is kind of zeroing in, I'm noticing here in the second half.
Yeah, Cutforth escaped the sack the first time, and then all he had to do was beat Freddie Williams of Highland to the perimeter, and, you know, Freddie's a big boy, 6'4", 328.
Yeah,
Cutforth got past him fairly quickly.
He was moving.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, Cutforth is...
It's hard to change directions when you're that big. Like, yes. Cutforth was going one way, and the Highland player had to make a total 360.
For Cutforth, it's easy to cut.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, wow, an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Skyview. I don't agree with that call.
No,
I don't.
Yeah, that's tough. You know, that's a tough play, and you know, if anything, it was pretty close to a late hit, but I think he just pushed him, so he went out of bounds, and obviously it looks bad because the walls here in the Holt Arena it's not very far away either.
Right, they're close. And you saw a couple of the Skyview assistant coaches, as soon as that a decision was announced, they threw up the arm saying, come on, let's go, to the Skyview fans that travel. There's actually quite a few Skyview fans. You can hear them booing.
Yeah, they have a pretty good turnout. You know, they've got a good little student section, and there's a lot of fans here.
I think you throw the flag, just offset it on both sides, because there was pushing on both sides there. But 1st and 10, more importantly for Skyview, they did pick up the first down, but the ball is now back at the 28-yard line. Cutforth pump fakes once. Now will step up into the pocket and slides down around the 25-yard line.
And that was nearly almost like a horse collar tackle there, too.
Yeah, Cutforth was able to scramble up the middle for a gain of 4 before sliding down at the 24-yard line, where it will be 2nd down and 6 for the Hawks. 7 minutes to play in the third quarter. Skyview has had this ball the entire time, trailing 21-14. A big 4th down run by Cutforth kept the drive alive. 2nd and 6. Draw play. Fafita breaks a tackle. Makes another man miss inside the 10, the 5. He's in for the touchdown. Antonio Fafita from 24 yards out.
What a nice little shake and bake by Fafia. He faked out two Highland guys with those cutbacks. That was great. Just those little cuts inside out, a little shimmy with the shoulders into the end zone, and that was a nice draw. That was a smart decision there. I think Highland's looking pass all the way, and that draw was wide open.
Well-designed draw play at a great time to call it. You nailed it, Sean. All right, now here's a big PAT for Skyview because Tino Galvan is only 0 for 1 so far on point after kicks tonight. Just to try and tie it with 6:43 to play in the third, and he nails it.
And every time Skyview's kicked or punted, Highland has been right there. You know, Highland's preaches special teams, and it's on display tonight with how quickly the defense is getting to the kicker.
What a tremendous opening drive of the third quarter for Skyview to tie this game up at 21 apiece. A 24-yard touchdown run by Antonio Fafita. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Trans Systems LLC. Trans Systems is a family-run business that hauls more sugar beets than anyone. They offer all types of people good work, good pay, and a good life. They're currently looking for Class A CDL drivers who want good work, good pay, and a good life in their American Falls, Paul, Twin Falls, and Nampa locations. Visit their website at transsystemsllc.com for more information. The team at Trans Systems proudly supports the student athletes in tonight's game. Tonight's game also brought to you by Big Insurance. Choose Big Insurance and you'll get personalized customer service from a team that's always looking out for your best interests. Have you ever wondered how you'll afford to pay for damages if your kid is in a bad wreck? Do you worry if you have enough insurance to rebuild your home? Do you want to leave life insurance benefits to your family? Big Insurance knows the best answers to those questions. Call 208-365-2160 or visit their website, biginsurance.com, for more information. The team at Big Insurance wants to wish the Skyview boys good luck in tonight's game. Here is a pooch kick taken at the 25-yard line by Raymond Borella. He's got a chance at a good return, and he takes it all the way out to the 45-yard line. Boy, Skyview just doesn't have a good way to kick off to these dangerous return men for the Rams.
No, they've tried everything, and you know, it's just, sometimes I think when teams get into the Holt Arena, it feels bigger, and it's still a football field, it's still 100 yards, but man, it seems like 120 yards for the Skyview kicker.
6:37 to play here in the third quarter of action. 1st and 10 for the Rams from their own 45. Inside hand at the Parrish, and he got popped after a gain of only a yard. Laying the hit down for Skyview that time was Colton Fleshman. And Parrish picks up 3.
Nice job by Skyview to fill the running lane there. And again, really, both teams having a hard time running tonight. And coming into it, I kind of thought we'd see a little more running from both teams.
So 2nd down and 7. Rolling out right side is Whitmer in trouble. Hit as he throws, it's complete to the 44-yard line. That's Sneddon, the tight end. He's going to be a yard shy of the 1st down. So a gain of 6 from Whitmer to Sneddon. 3rd down and 1 now for the Rams.
And Whitmer he was pretty lucky to get that off. He was nearly sacked. It was looked like a screen that quite didn't develop maybe.
3rd and 1 for the Rams.
So I've noticed this a couple times. Skyview's not quite had the personnel to coverage.
It is a quarterback keeper for Jack Whitmer across the 45 to the 40. So where are they going to put this? At the 43. And a gain of 3 and a 1st down.
So Highland puts out these formations, and then one more receiver will come out, and then Skyview sometimes doesn't seem to quite know who's going to be covering that person.
5 minutes to play in the third. 1st and 10 for Highland from the 43-yard line of Skyview. 3 receivers to the right, tight end to the left. It is going to be a fake toss on the inside, and now a quarterback run for Whitmer to the 40. Breaks a tackle, the 35, the 30, 25, and finally brought down at the 23-yard line. That was kind of a busted play, and Whitmer's able to pick up 20 yards on the run.
Yeah, Whitmer just a heads-up play, rolled one way, nothing there, and just tucked the ball and went in for a good run there.
So a fresh set of downs for Highland. 1st and 10, ball at the Skyview 23-yard line. 4:20 to play here in the third. All tied up at 21. 3 receivers right, single receiver left. Whitmer out of a shotgun formation with 4:10 and counting in the third. Ready to take the snap option play. Pitch off to the right side for Eli Parrish. Breaks a tackle, the 20, the 15, and slammed out of bounds around the 11-yard line for Eli Parrish. A gain of 12 and another 1st down for the Rams.
So now the Rams offense, it's starting to flow a little bit here. We're getting a few passes, they're getting some runs, and yeah, the Rams offense is kind of putting together a nice drive here, and we're almost done with this quarter, and it's going to almost be 2 possessions.
3:40 to play in the third. Tied at 21 with 3:35 to go. Whitmer Out of the shotgun. Will keep it himself up the middle, lowering the shoulder and taking it to the 1. That is a gain of 10 and should be enough for the first down. It should be first and goal from the 1, but we will call it 2nd and inches with the ball at the 2 officially.
Yeah, super close there, but still can get a first down here and a whole nother set of downs for Highland.
They'll break the huddle quickly here, trying to quick snap it on 2nd and 1 from the 2, and bulldozing his way up the middle into the end zone for the touchdown is Jack Whitmer on the quarterback keeper. So just like that, I'll tell you, every time Skyview thinks they've gotten the momentum, Highland has been able to respond.
Yeah, I mean, you just, you had about a, 7-minute drive, and even a big penalty set you back, but you still got into the end zone, and feel like you kind of had stopped Highland, but then the Highland offense comes out, and they put together a nice little drive of their own.
2:58 to play here in the 3rd. Ian Hershey on for the point after try.
And most of it's Whitmer, Whitmer's kind of saying, hey, I'm not messing around anymore, guys. Let's go.
And the point after try is good by Ian Hershey. So 28-21 Highland with 2:58 to play in the 3rd. We'll be back right after this break. You're listening to the 2021 Idaho High School postseason on IdahoSports.com.
It's not a secret that finding a new car this year is a little tricky. Between chip shortages and supply problems, there's more reasons than ever to come to our no-problem dealerships when you need a new car or truck. Our acquisitions team works hard to make sure that we have a great selection of vehicles to choose from, and our easy-to-buy, easy-to-do business with sales team is ready to deliver the same great value price that we've had for nearly 20 years. Teton Toyota, where it's always no problem to buy and service your car.
Back inside Holtz Arena on IdahoSports.com. 2:58 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Highland leads Skyview in this 5A postseason opener, 28-21. Ian Hershey sends it. Oh, that one was 9 yards deep in the end zone. Just about cleared it. Another touchback, 1st and 10 for Skyview now.
And it wasn't lofty. It was like a line drive all the way back there.
So a very impressive drive put together by Highland with 2:58 to go in the 3rd to put the Rams back in front, 28-21. The drive culminated with the 2-yard touchdown run by Jack Whitmer. And now, again, how does Skyview respond? Every time, though, they're having to go 80 yards to score.
Highlands pretty much starts every time with great field position with the kicking thus far.
1st and 10, cut forth, back to pass, over the middle, threw it short. Intended receiver was Camden Young. It's 2nd down. Cutforth has shown pretty good footwork in the pocket as he's had to adjust to the Highland pass rush.
Yeah, he makes really good decisions, and he's able to avoid that pass rush pressure of Highland, and he moves pretty well. He's got good footwork. He rolls out to the right places too.
So 2nd and 10 now for Skyview. They will give to Fafita on a draw play. It came out. That's a fumble, and that's recovered by Highland's Lucas Barker at the 16-yard line.
Wow.
Big fumble by Fafita.
Yeah, it was just, and it looks like he just couldn't quite hold on to it as he rolled out to the edge, and yeah, big turn of events here for Highland. Great for Skyview, not what you're after. Highland just scored, and now they're in great position to go up by 2 touchdowns. Difficult sledding here.
And now Highland has it 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line of Skyview, up a score, threatening to go up by 2 with 2:46 to play in the 3rd. Screen pass near side, caught by Barella at the 20, inside the 15, down to the 12. So a gain of 5 to Raymond Barella. We'll call it 6 to make it 2nd and 4.
Yeah, and that pass looked a little low, but if you're going to throw it low to anyone, it's probably Raymond Barella. I mean, there's no way to intercept it when it's thrown that low, and he gets down low to catch it.
So it's now 2nd and 4. Handoff, left side for Eli Parrish across the 10 and down to the 9 for a gain of 2. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
After Skyview, you just kind of, if you can hold Highland to a field goal or something here, that would just be huge, I think. But easier said than done. I think the story for Highland tonight, they've just had so many different places they can go with the ball, and if those places aren't there, Whitmer's able to do it with his legs.
So 3rd down and 2, 5 wide here for the Rams. 2 to the right, 2 to the left, and the tight end to the right as well. Whitmer back to pass. Pump fakes once to the end zone. It is deflected and broken up. Nearly picked off. Aiden Martinez was in coverage for Skyline. They were trying to go over the middle in the end zone. That time to Ezra Godfrey. The pass was broken up. It's 4th down, and we'll see Ian Hershey come out for a field goal try.
Yeah, I think this is big for Skyview. Just if they can just hold Island to 3 here and not 2 scores, I mean, that could be a big turn of events from fumbling so close to your own end zone.
So it will be a 27-yard field goal try right from the middle of the field for Ian Hershey. It's a walk in the park for him, and he drills it. Has to get a stop somewhere, try and climb out of this 10-point hole.
Yeah, they're going to have to get a stop defensively, but offensively, they had just been really kind of rolling, and that last drive, the fumble, just kind of devastating. Hopefully they can turn it around here, and you know, their first drive of the 3rd quarter was just really great, you know, well balanced and able to get it done, and so hopefully they can turn around here and
for Ian Hershey. We'll see this one go for a touchback, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Skyview from their own 20. Hasn't happened yet, but I can predict the future, Sean.
I was going to say, it's about the, you know, if we're going to say anything as broadcasters, it's about 100% we can get that one right? Now watch them do something now that I've said that, but usually Hershey's pretty good for it. And that one was close. It's almost like he's toying with them. He's like, maybe I'll just let them get it. And actually, Hershey looked upset that it only went into the end zone barely. So I don't know. That might be something Highland could do too. If he kicks one short and see what they've got. But what a weapon just to always start. Put your defense when you know they're always going to have to start on the 20.
In on the sack, and also Sloan Lamson, the senior defensive tackle. They both combo on the loss of 3 for Cutforth.
Yeah, we really haven't heard from Sloan Lamson too much tonight, which is kind of surprising, but he's here now.
He's got the old school look like from the 80s where the jersey is only goes down to his midsection, and then you can see his bare stomach.
Yeah.
Very Brian Bosworth-like. 40 seconds to play in the 3rd. 2nd and 13, and a sliding grab made at the 30-yard line on the near sideline for the 1st down by who else? Tarek Pennington.
Yeah, I was going to say it might be Pennington time for Skyview. They didn't use him so much in that opening drive of the 3rd quarter. It might be time to break out that Pennington driver, you know.
His first reception of this 2nd half goes for 14 yards. It's now 1st and 10 for the Hawks. Down to 15 seconds to play in the 3rd. They're down 10 from their own 31. Inside counter play and wrapped up for a loss of a yard or 2. They tried the handoff that time to Riker Oswald, and Oswald had Andrew Schneider, and Schneider had nowhere to go. He lost 2.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter.
That's the end of 3. So with 3 quarters gone by, Highland leads Skyview by 10, 31-21 in this Class 5A first round postseason showdown. We'll be back with the fourth quarter right after this break. You're listening to the 2021 Idaho High School Football Playoffs on IdahoSports.com.
Lead the charge into a brighter future with the all-new 2022 Volkswagen ID4. With an EPA estimated range of 250 miles, the ID4 knows how to go the distance. It's an electric SUV that's as fun to drive as it is stylish and functional. You don't have to sacrifice good looks for great performance. So stop by our dealership today and jumpstart your year with the Volkswagen ID4. Teton Volkswagen, where it's always no problem to buy and service your vehicle.
Why spend 15 minutes quoting your insurance with one company? Go to biginsurance.com and let leading insurance companies shop for your insurance. You can even chat with one of our agents standing by only at biginsurance.com.
Welcome back to Holt Arena as we start the fourth quarter. Skyview starts with a big reception to Tarek Pennington from the 29 all the way to the Highland 41-yard line and a first down. That is a 30-yard connection from Cutforth to Pennington. And with 11:40 to play in the fourth quarter, Skyview quickly working. 1st and 10 from the Highland 41. That ball came out. Was that a fumble or an incomplete pass? Highland falls on top of it. Highland thinks they've got a fumble recovery. Eli Anderton came up with it, and they'll say, yes, it was a fumble. Oh, wow. Skyview thought it was an incomplete pass as Cutforth, it looked like he had forward motion, like the tuck rule almost. The ball came out. Eli Anderton recovered, and they'll say it's Highlands football.
Yeah, it looked like he was passing, but they're going to say it's a fumble. And just 2 costly turnovers for Skyview in the second half has really been the story. The fumble, and now this. 2 fumbles, right? I mean, that's a fumble, and so the turnovers really costing Skyview at this point.
The turnovers paying dearly for Skyview right now as we're into the fourth quarter. 1st and 10 for Highland from their own 42. Whitmer has all day going for the jugular. It's caught in stride. Barella inside the 5. 1st and goal for the Rams.
And you got to love it. Highland went for it. Right after turnover, go for the big play. I really like that call.
That is a 54-yard bomb from Whitmer to Barella. First and goal, Highland with the ball at the Skyview 4. 11:05 to play in this ball game.
And now you'll probably see Whitmer take it in.
Up the middle, Whitmer. Just like the psychic prescribed, a 4-yard touchdown run.
I think that's 2 out of 37,000 times I've been right. My percentage is low. So Whitmer with a 5-yard touchdown.
A 4-yard score for Whitmer on a 1st and goal play from the 4. Remember when Skyview tied this game at 21?
It seems so long ago, but it really wasn't. The third quarter was basically 2 drives each, and Highland with 2 scores in the third quarter, a touchdown and a field goal, and Skyview with a touchdown and a fumble. And the fourth quarter starts with a fumble for Skyview, which leads to a huge Highland pass, Whitmer to Barella, 54 yards, and Whitmer, if you're in 4 or 5 yards, it seems like it's Whitmer time by the end zone.
That's right. It's almost like the ball is a magnet, and the end zone is another magnet, and magnets attract each other, and I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
Yeah. the scientists would say.
Yeah, science was not my bag.
Yeah,
but
what was the follow the science? Well, follow Whitmer into the end zone. The ball does.
follow the science. Well, Highland now leading 38-21 with 10:52 to play. And you talked about it, the two key fumbles, right? One recovered by Lucas Barker for Highland, the other one recovered by Eli Anderton. And those two turnovers have really turned this now into a runaway for
Highland.
Yeah,
I mean, they had Skyview had the game tied up to start the second half. You couldn't ask for more, and then all of a sudden those turnovers turned into points, and now Highland's got the biggest lead of the night.
Another kickoff for Hershey, another touchback. Lather, rinse, repeat.
And in Skyview, they were able to get some punts and some turnover, or one interception turnover in the first half, but they weren't able to get points from those. They only were able to stay with Highland, and they just weren't quite able to, take the lead at any point. And I think that was kind of some lost opportunities for them too. And now it's a big hole with 10:52 left in the fourth.
Skyview at this point is going to have to score quickly, get some onside kicks.
And they can. I mean, Pennington he's been pretty good at that quick pass.
Yeah, they did have the 85-yard touchdown in the first half. A one-handed grab by Antonio Fafita along the far side across the 25 to the 27. Wow, what a grab by Fafita on the flat route.
Not only did he grab it one-handed, but as he's grabbing it, he kind of takes out the Highland defender and kind of pushes him out with the shoulder, catches it, pushes another Highland defender, then finally goes down. So getting hit and catching it one-handed, difficult.
Antonio Fafita is a bad man.
Yeah.
2nd and 3, play action, cut forth in trouble. Now will step up on the run, fire. It is deflected, but pass interference going to be called right at the 50-yard line as Tarek Pennington got tied up with Campbell Thomas of Highland.
And, Campbell Thomas has had good defense all evening, and, at some point he's got to take a risk against that, because once Pennington gets kind of going on a slant kind of route, it is tough to cover him.
Yeah, Pennington with 7 catches tonight.
Well over 200 yards at this point.
You're close. 196.
Okay.
I just added it up.
Oh, yep. Yep. That sounds right.
But, I mean, on his next grab, more than likely, he's going to go over 200 yards.
That's just, what a great game for him.
Unreal. 1st and 10 following that pass interference penalty at the 42. It's in and out of the hands and dropped by Mason Cron on a crosser over the middle. 2nd and 10.
Cron took his eyes off the ball a little too soon. He probably could hear or feel the presence of the Highland defenders, and he turned before he caught the ball. And, I mean, you even see that at the NFL level.
10:09 to play in this ball game. Skyview trailing 38-21 to Highland. 10:09 to play here in the fourth. It is a handoff to Fafita. He ran right into his own guy, and in there causing all sorts of problems for the Rams was Sloan Lamson.
Yeah, Sloan Lamson has really had a great second half. He's really caused a lot of disruption. He's got in there. He might not have the stats, but he's making guys move. He's making Cutforth have to make different decisions and breaking up the plays.
So 3rd and 13 for the Hawks now from their own 39-yard line. Cutforth back to pass, feeling the heat on the run, fires. That ball caught by Camden Young, and a helmet-to-helmet contact delivered at the end by Highland's Carson Farnsworth.
Wow, what a great catch. And Farnsworth, that's just kind of a difficult call. He's just trying to make the tackle, not intending to do anything bad, but helmet to helmet there.
That ends up being a 14-yard reception. And again, that was Camden Young who made that reception, right, number 1?
Yep, Camden Young with the reception there. He popped right back up, took a hard hit, and they're going to tack on the extra yardage here for the penalty. You were talking about how Lamson's kind of got the old 80s football look, right? The shirt halfway up. He doesn't have to have a Halloween costume. Is what I'm thinking for this weekend.
Yeah, that's right. Halloween is just
like the classic football look.
A day away. 1st and 10 from the 33, over the middle, too high, just beyond the outstretched fingertips of Camden Young, trying to go over the middle. Campbell Thomas in coverage for the Rams. It's 2nd and 10.
And that was really kind of the first pass. Cutforth was kind of inaccurate. He's a very accurate passer. He kind of can fit it in tight little hole, just little holes in the defense. So great job by him.
2nd and 10, a diving catch made inside the 20, down to the 16-yard line by Camden Young.
Well, Skyview's, been able to pass the ball tonight. That's for sure. They've had the receivers run really good routes. They go, and the breaks they make are just very clean. And I think you said this earlier. It's kind of like timing. Like he knows at this time, and when he hits this yard marker, he's going to be turning.
So 1st and 10 for Skyview. Ball at the 17-yard line of Highland. 8.5 to play. Cutforth in trouble and sacked. Back at the 20-yard line. In on the sack for the Rams was Kyler Williams. Now, he's normally an offensive lineman for Highland. He's out there playing defensive line. You don't see that often, and Williams comes up with the sack.
Yeah, he just came out to play defense right on that play. So, luck or very smart coaching, right?
2nd down and 14. Cutforth dancing his way, throwing underneath. That pass is complete down the sideline. And did he step out? No, they'll say it's a touchdown. Who else? Tarek Pennington from 21 yards away.
Pennington threw out just a huge stiff arm. I thought Highland had him tackled, and that was a big stiff arm, and I thought he would go out of bounds, but able to stiff arm the Highland player and turn that corner and get in for the end zone. But Pennington, what a game. Put him on my fantasy team.
They can't stop him. It's now 38-27, pending the point after try with 7:57 to play. Big kick coming up here from Tino Galvan. Try and make it a 10-point game again, and he drills it. So I'll tell you, Skyview not done yet. 7:57 to play in this ball game, and the Hawks have brought it to within 10 at 38-28. Now, Sean,
they've got to figure out a way to kick it here.
Do you kick it deep and trust your defense? There's still 7:57 to play. Or do you go for the onside kick here? I think you kick it deep, actually.
I mean, yeah, they've had kind of a wide range of kicks on their kickoffs. I think at this point with 7:58 and the way you're able to pass the ball, you get the thing as far back as you can and let your defense stop Highland. And and I don't think Highland's going to try to do anything flashy. They're up by 10. I think Highland's going to say, hey, you have to beat us. We're not going to give it to you.
I'll tell you, I've been very impressed by this Skyview team. You take away those 2 turnovers, and we're probably even Steven.
Yeah, I think it's either tied or at some point the Hawks might have the lead. And and we've talked about it when we've covered Highland before. Hershey's such a weapon, and that field goal could be what wins the game.
Absolutely, because you had the fumble recovery by Barker that led to the Hershey field goal, and then you had the Anderson fumble recovery, which led to the touchdown. So yeah, those 10 points right there swung on those 2 turnovers. Short kick to the 20, and only a return out to the 30 this time for Jackson Schumann. So for the first time tonight, Highland's return game held in check. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams from their own 30 with 7:50 to play in this ball game.
And that was by far Skyview's farthest kick, I thought, down the field, and I think that was smart. You let those guys get down there and make a play to tackle Highland. I think that's what you had to do.
1st and 10 for Highland with 7:50 to play, and the Rams, of course, just want to Take some time off the clock. It's an inside shovel toss. Schumann trying to work to the outside. We'll take it to the 40 and the 41 and even the 42 for a gain of 11 and a first down.
Nice job by Martinez of the Hawks to get that tackle, or Schumann is gone. You know, coaches tell you those open field tackles make or break games sometimes, you know. So, good job wrapping them up.
1st and 10 from the 42. Handoff to Parrish, and hanging on for dear life as Parrish crosses the 45 to the 47 was Antonio Fafita.
He's trying to skip his way out of that, you know, kind of, nope. But I don't think Fafia's letting go anytime soon. So Highland kind of, you know, doing what we thought they would do, kind of run the clock, but they're still moving the ball. They want that, you know, it's a 2-score game, so the clock is just a huge player right now for the Hawks.
6:45 and counting, 2nd and 5 for the Rams from their own 47. Well-designed play. That's Riddle for the first down. Tarek Pennington's helmet comes off. He gives Riddle an extra shove and a second shove, and Pennington better watch out. That's 2 penalty flags, and he might, if he keeps it up, might get ejected, which would be a terrible way for this game to end for such a great performance by Pennington.
Yeah, he's been in it a few times with some players, and you know, it's always the person who does something last is the one who gets in trouble.
So 2, and he's been ejected.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh, what a horrible way for that game to end for Tarek Pennington. Ejected with 6:40 to play.
Oh no, that's just he's probably had the best game of his life tonight, and that's just not the way you want to go out and, you know, play a football. The frustration's mounting, but you got to keep a cool head and figure a way to stay in the game because he plays both ways. He's huge on defense and offense. As much as we've talked about him offensively, he's made big plays defensively.
That can't happen. Pennington, as he was making the tackle, he kind of lifted up the leg of Riddle at the end, and that was where the first flag was. And then as he was walking away, he kind of jabbed his hand at a second player's face mask.
Yeah, everyone's kind of talking, but Pennington threw the hands, and that you're going to get the flag when you do that. And losing Pennington is terrible, but it puts Highland in the red zone.
I mean, that's 30 yards in penalty yardage.
And that happened to him earlier in the first quarter.
1st and 10 for the Rams now. Ball at the Skyview 15-yard line. Schumann in motion right to left. They will do a double handoff and an end around. Barella with blockers, and he's in for a 15-yard touchdown.
Nice reverse there, and you know, why not give Barella a chance? He's one of the fastest players out there. In for the touchdown.
So Barella with a 15-yard touchdown run, and I don't know, with Pennington getting ejected and giving up this touchdown and the penalty yardage, I think that might have been the dagger for Highland.
That's going to be the nail in the casket, right? Halloween.
Right.
But yeah, it's tough. You just had a great drive. You had another touchdown, and you know, Highland was moving the ball. They weren't doing anything spectacular, and you know they weren't going to probably take any shots at the ball, and you probably get it back. And yeah, you're still down 2 scores, but you had a chance, and now the opportunities kind of dwindled away.
It's just I feel terrible for Tarek Pennington. Because on the one hand, he was having such a phenomenal night. He'll finish his night with 196 receiving yards.
Jeez.
Never did get to 200.
3 touchdowns.
On the yes, 3 touchdowns. And yet at the same time, you've got to keep a cool head in that situation. You have to.
Yeah, I mean, you know, 3 or 4 goods don't outweigh that bad when the bad is kind of ends the game, right? I mean, you got to do what's best for the team. You know, his stats are going to look good, but that, you know, essentially 30-yard penalty is just kind of the nail in the coffin. I
mean, more than anything tonight, don't get me wrong, Highland made lots of plays and
Absolutely.
definitely earned this thing, but man, Skyview sure made it easy at times too, right? 2 separate touchdowns, aided by 30 yards in penalty yardage against Skyview. 2 turnovers directly led to 10 points for Highland as well.
Yeah, and Skyview didn't capitalize on their interception opportunity with any points, and yeah, just kind of the game right there is you're gonna go back and look at penalties and your chances that you just didn't get it done, and it's hard because you didn't have chances.
Oh, okay. Now both sides having guys flopping, and officials got to get this under control. This is getting out of hand now.
Yeah, looking a little bit like European soccer out there.
I mean, just knock it off, guys.
Yeah,
Seriously.
let's get the game done and let's have good sportsmanship.
And this is on both sides. This is Skyview and Highland. 2 separate guys flopped, almost like in the NBA, right?
Yeah.
Just stop. 6:23 to play. 1st and 10 for Skyview from their own 20. Skyview working right to left in this 4th quarter of action. Cutforth will start out of a shotgun formation, and now Aiden Martinez, who's been a solid defensive back all night, he's got to play wide receiver in Pennington's absence. Cutforth has time, taking a deep shot to Martinez. Almost caught it over the top of the defensive back, but it's incomplete. In coverage for Highland was Carson Farnsworth.
Yeah, Martinez almost went back. It was a little underthrown and grabbed it. Martinez doesn't look like a bad receiver at this point, man.
No, and that would have been around the 50-yard line too, so you're talking about a pretty big play downfield.
You have to look at Cutforth. He's had a great night. What a great quarterback too. He's been able to really thread the needle against a very hard defense of Highland.
2nd and 10, Cutforth on the run, dumps it off underneath to Fafita. Nice juke to the 25-yard line, gets a good block to the 30. Still going, spin move to the 35. A gain of 15 to Antonio Fafita, thanks to some nifty footwork and a good block out front.
Yeah, good blocking by Skyview, and Skyview's got to pick up the pace there a little bit if they want to try to cut into this, but at this point it's going to be difficult, but you think they would maybe move a little quicker.
1st and 10 for the Hawks from their own 35, 5:45 and counting in this ball game. Cutforth stepping up in trouble and sacked back at the 30-yard line. Laying down the hammer, Drew Roberts. So Cutforth loses 5 yards on that sack. It's 2nd and 15 now. Ball back at Skyview's 30 with 5:20 to play.
And nice job by Highland secondary. They had everyone covered, and man, that sure, your defensive line sure likes that.
A good old-fashioned coverage sack, right?
Yeah.
2nd and 15. Cutforth rolling out right side on the run, firing too high for Camden Young. Incomplete around the 45-yard line of Highland on the far side. It's 3rd and 15 now for the Hawks.
And it's not easy to cover these Skyview receivers. I'm really impressed with the receiving core. I mean, that was not kind of the MO I got coming into this game. I got that they were kind of more of a running team, but the passing's been great.
So it's now 3rd and 15 for Skyview. 5:02 to play in this ball game. Obvious 2-down territory for the Hawks. And a 5-wide formation, 4 to the left side. Single receiver to the right is Martinez. Cutforth steps up. Broken up and nearly picked on the near sideline. And in coverage for the Rams, that looked like Jackson Sabuma. So Sabuma nearly picks it off. It's now 4th down. And look at this. Skyview's going to come out and punt with 4:57 to go.
Yeah, I kind of thought it would be 4-down territory at this point. I mean, you'd had to gotten a score there really to be in the conversation, but
could be a fake too.
I mean, yeah.
I saw that yesterday in the Garden Valley Rockland playoff game I did. Garden Valley pulled off a fake punt, except the receiver dropped it. Otherwise, he would have had it for a 1st down. That is caught at the 35-yard line by Barella, setting up for a nice return to the 50. Penalty flag comes out as he returns it out to the 40-yard line. This one will be coming back on an illegal block against Highland. I'll tell you what, Okay, now we're starting to look big picture, right?
Yeah.
4:44 to play. Highland up 45-28. Barring some type of miracle, the Rams are going to get that rematch with Rocky Mountain next week. They got to clean it up. They do. I mean, way too many penalties out there today for Highland.
Yeah, and just, they had an interception. They had a couple, plays that didn't go, or a couple of drives that didn't go anywhere, and they kind of lucked out with the penalties. But the defense did come through and get a couple good fumbles, and that was a big part of the third quarter. But for the first, 3/4 of this game, it was anyone's really to take, and I don't know if you can do that against a Rocky Mountain team. Is what I was getting at, is you can't play 3/4 of the game and then beat Rocky Mountain at the end. I don't think you can.
Well, Highland tried to do that in the season opener, right? And they fell 12-7.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you're going to have two very tough defenses, and offensively, you've got to be able to get things done.
1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line after the penalty. Handoff to Jackson Riddle on 1st down. Takes it for a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd and 8, 4.5 to play. Don't forget the IdahoSports.com post-game show coming up as soon as this game is complete. We'll hand out our IdahoSports.com player of the game. A lot of good candidates. We'll have to talk about that in the post-game commercial break.
Yeah, definitely.
2nd and 8 for the Rams. Back to pass, slinging it in the flat on the near side. Caught at the 35 to the 40 and up to the 43-yard line. First reception of the night for Cade Jones. Cade Jones is a 6'1 junior.
And Gino Mariano, if he gets an opportunity to play some different players, and we've talked about this, he'll do it. And I like that from a coaching standpoint. If you can get some guys some minutes somewhere and see what they got in playoff football, I mean, how great of an advantage is that as you move forward in the playoffs?
That's right. You never know when you'll need to call on some of those younger guys. Here's a handoff up the middle as Highland has put in all of their backups, it looks like. The new quarterback in for Highland is Drew Hymas, the sophomore. And that is a big run for a 1st down for Highland's backup running back, and that was Colby Schumann. So
Colby Schumann, 34.
Yeah, the younger Schumann. So we talked about this a couple weeks ago when we were at that Highland Rigby game. People are going to be like, oh, Barella and Schumann, they finally graduated. Bad news, guys. There's a younger Barella and a younger Schumann that are coming up through the ranks.
And I feel like there was a Hymas before, too. That's who's the backup quarterback now.
Hymas will keep it. Speaking of backup quarterbacks, Drew Hymas runs off the right side across the 40 to the 34-yard line of Skyview with 2:50 and counting in this ball game, and the Rams up 45-28.
Well, they have Barella listed as a quarterback too. I mean, let's see him get in there.
Right. Yeah. The younger Barella. Right?
Yeah. There's another one. That's what I was getting at. They've got double.
Yeah. There's Raymond and Ridge.
Yeah.
Ridge is the younger of the two.
10th grader, sophomore.
2:20 to play in this ball game. Highland just bleeding the clock here. 2nd and 1 from the Skyview 34. This is Riddle picking up the 1st down to the 31, a gain of 3.
And Riddle's one of those guys you said, they brought up and they got him in kind of early in the first half. Didn't really hear much from the second half, but it's a Highland team full of offensive options, right? They don't have to look one-sided. They don't have to look at one person at all, and I think that's going to be big going forward too for them.
Absolutely. 1st and 10 for Highland from the Skyview 32. We're down to 1:40 to play. And again, Highland will hand off the left side this time as Riddle gets some blocking. Penalty flag comes out, though, as Riddle takes it to the 10. We'll see what the call is here.
Couldn't quite tell, but maybe a holding.
So, yeah, we talked about Highland getting these backup players some experience. It was only 2 years ago that Highland came into the playoffs with junior Caleb DeMuzio as really the focal point of the offense. He was the lead running back, got about 30 carries a game. Well, he got hurt. And so in the first-round playoff game for the second half, Highland had to turn to a freshman that had just been promoted from the freshman team, Mason Fulmer. He's now a junior linebacker. But back then, They needed him at running back.
Yeah.
Highland won that first-round contest against Madison, ironically enough, a conference opponent.
Yeah.
Then the next week they went on the road to Bora, and that's when Bora had Austin Bolt, the Gatorade Player of the Year, and now at Boise State. And Bora was a state title favorite. Well, Highland went on the road to Bora, pulled off the upset with Fulmer playing all the snaps at running back. And then Highland nearly won in the semifinals at Coeur d'Alene the next week. So that's a perfect example of you never know
who you're going to need or what's going to happen, right?
Absolutely. And a big run there for Highland. And for the first carry tonight, Kai Callan, and that is a freshman. So Kai Callan on that carry for Highland is able to pick up 5 yards to make it 2nd down and 7 following that holding penalty.
Yeah.
Final 30 seconds here, and I think the Rams are finally going to take a knee. Walk out of here with a 45-28 opening round postseason victory over the Skyview Hawks. The celebration begins on the Highland sideline, and for Skyview, a season that comes up just short. But Skyview competed hard tonight. Nothing to be ashamed about, except maybe some of the personal foul penalties and stuff.
Yeah, just some of the penalties were costly, and but it didn't take away really from how well some of their play, how their team played overall. I mean, you take away those penalty things, it's a closer game, but Highland capitalized better on those opportunities and comes away tonight with the win.
So Highland wins it 45-28. The Rams will travel to Meridian next week to play the Rocky Mountain Grizzlies in the quarterfinals, a rematch of the Week 0 showdown, a game that Rocky Mountain won 12-7. We will be back with the IdahoSports.com post-game show in just a moment. You're listening to the 2021 Idaho High School football postseason on IdahoSports.com.
Lead the charge into a brighter future with the all-new 2022 Volkswagen ID4. With an EPA estimated range of 250 miles, the ID4 knows how to go the distance. It's an electric SUV that's as fun to drive as it is stylish and functional. You don't have to sacrifice good looks for great performance. So stop by our dealership today and jumpstart your year with the Volkswagen ID4. Teton Volkswagen, where it's always no problem to buy and service your vehicle.
It's not a secret that finding a new car this year is a little tricky. Between chip shortages and supply problems, there's more reasons than ever to come to our no-problem dealerships when you need a new car or truck. Our acquisitions team works hard to make sure that we have a great selection of vehicles to choose from, and our easy-to-buy, easy-to-do business with sales team is ready to deliver the same great value price that we've had for nearly 20 years. Teton Toyota, where it's always no problem to buy and service your car.
Why spend 15 minutes quoting your insurance with one company? Go to biginsurance.com and let leading insurance companies shop for your insurance. You can even chat with one of our agents standing by only at biginsurance.com.
You took us off-road on the gnarliest trails. You asked us to measure up. So yeah, we did. When life slings you mud, sling it right back. Stay strong, Toyota trucks.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Athletes know how important it is to stay hydrated. But did you know there are other ways to hydrate besides just drinking water? In fact, milk is a great hydration option because it actually contains water, as well as electrolytes that are lost when your body sweats. So consider taking milk along with you to your next game or competition and enjoy the taste of greatness. For more help finding your greatness, visit unbottled.com.
It's time to start planning for back to school. That's why I got my kids vaccinated for COVID-19, so they can be protected from COVID when they're back in the classroom. Kids 12 and older can get vaccinated. The vaccines have been researched and tested. They're safe and they work. Getting vaccinated was quick and easy. You can walk into a pharmacy to get one. We got our COVID-19 vaccine, and I hope everyone will choose to get vaccinated too.
Get a free COVID-19 vaccine today. Find a location near you at covidvaccine.idaho.gov.
We're Valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
A hit in the morning, another between class, after school, and more before bed. Vaping sucks you in quick. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems everyone's talking about. That's why thousands of teens are ready to take back their life their own way with My Life, My Quit. When you sign up with us, you'll get a free and simple quit plan that makes it easier to stop vaping. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
You train, you sweat, you practice, you go for the gold, you give 110%, but most of all, you aim for greatness. And milk is the performance enhancer that can help get you to your goal. Trusted by athletes and backed by science, there's a healthy helping of greatness in every refreshing glass of milk. So let nature's original sports drink help quench your thirst for greatness. For more help finding your greatness, visit unbottled.com.
I decided to get vaccinated because I wanted to protect myself and my family and my customers from COVID-19. When I went to get my COVID-19 vaccine, it was an easy process. It's readily available. Since I got vaccinated, I'm confident I'm protected against the COVID-19 virus. My life has returned to business as usual.
Welcome into the IdahoSports.com postgame show on IdahoSports.com. Brandon Maney alongside Sean Kane, where the Highland Rams defeat the Skyview Hawks in the opening round of the 5A postseason, 45-28 the final. Skyview kind of matched Highland tit for tat in the first 2.5 quarters, but 2 key fumbles in the third quarter and some untimely penalties ultimately swung at Highland's way.
Yeah, definitely. For the first half, Skyline and Highland are, Skyview and Highland are just pretty even, and barring some penalties, and then a third quarter turnover problem for Skyview led to a 10-point lead, and Highland never looked back.
Yeah, Highland was off to the races from there. So it's time to hand out now our IdahoSports.com player of the game as, Mr. Parker from Pocatello High hooking us up with the rosters we needed for our next game. Thank you, sir. Pocatello and Bonneville coming up next here in Holt Arena. So this is going to be an abridged post-game show, Sean. So quickly, let's hand out our IdahoSports.com player of the game.
Yeah, there's a lot of great players, but we're going to go with Jack Whitmer, the quarterback of Highland. He was phenomenal tonight. He accounted for 5 of the Highland touchdowns, 2 passing, 3 running. He was 10 for 19 passing, 176 yards passing, 52% completion, and 70 yards on the ground. So when you account for 5 touchdowns, it's hard not to give it to you. You know, he had a really great game. So congratulations to Jack Whitmer being the IdahoSports.com player of the game.
Basically, when Highland needed a play, it was Whitmer who was delivering. So
absolutely.
Highland moves on. They will play Rocky Mountain next week in Meridian in the quarterfinal round, a matchup of that week 0, the very first game of the season in Idaho high school football. Well, on the first weekend, I guess. Rocky Mountain won that game 12-7. We'll see what happens in the rematch. It's hard to beat the same team twice in one season. Now, the one caveat was that game was in Holt Arena. This game will be outdoors at Rocky Mountain Stadium.
Yeah, I think that you would have to imagine that's got to help Rocky Mountain, and the weather's been pretty nice. So, but you know, in Idaho, who knows? Next week, who knows what that weather will be like, right?
Throw it out the window for sure. So Highland 8-2, moving on to the quarterfinals. Skyview concludes their season at 5-5. Their final season of 5A football, at least for 2 years. They'll move down to the 4A level next year, where I think Skyview could come right in and compete right away.
Yeah, and that it's a tough conference, right? You know, you've got Bishop Kelly and Emmett, who's really been tough the last 2 years, and so they come into some hard teams, but I think they're right in the top 3 if you did a preseason poll today, for sure.
Yeah, so I think Skyview's going to be great at the 4A level, like they have been historically. So Skyview wraps up 5-5, Highland 8-2. Rams moving on to the quarterfinals next Friday. All right, we're going to get ready for our next game on IdahoSports.com. We're staying right here in Holt Arena. It is a 4A opening round game. The Bonneville Bees taking on the Pocatello Thunder. So stay tuned for that. You can see all of the games that we're broadcasting this weekend by clicking on the Game Streams tab at IdahoSports.com. Thanks for tuning in to this IdahoSports.com Game Streams production of the 2021 Idaho State Football Tournament. Tournament coverage has been brought to you by the Idaho Division of Public Health, your local Toyota dealer, Valley-wide Co-op and Country Stores, and Project Filter. Stop smoking, start living. We'd also like to thank our local advertisers tonight: Trans Systems LLC, Big Insurance, Teton Honda, Teton Volkswagen, and Portneuf Medical. For Sean Kane, I'm Brandon Baney. Highland wins 45-28. Congrats to senior quarterback Jack Whitmer, our IdahoSports.com player of the game. Until next time, thanks for tuning in on IdahoSports.com.
This has been a presentation of IdahoSports.com Game Streams. This broadcast is copyrighted to IdahoSports.com. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express